Certified salute. Everybody knows it was the Gulf of America. Not Latin America, not nobody else, but the Gulf of America, meaning the United States. And if you don't listen to what people be saying, you might end up like that gentleman on the left. Because the person on the right ain't playing. But let me tell you something, fam. No matter what you do to these people, no matter how much white supremacy come knocking on their door, they still out there celebrating. Celebrating the fact that they about to get their whole damn country destroyed. But you know what, fam? When you certified foundational Black Americans, you already knew how it was going to go, and you already won. Let's go to work. Free Huey.
Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, fam. You already know what time it is. There's an old saying, and it's called the golden rule. He with the gold makes the rules. And family, in this world, you're going to abide by what the United States says. And we're going to break it all the way down what we say. Because remember, there ain't no USA without FBA. So I'm going to show everybody the way this all impacts everyone else and how foundational Black Americans is better than ever. Right here posted. Shout out to the team, family. You already know. Let's go. So Donald Trump takes Venezuela. And there's been a lot of telltale signs that this is going to go on, and everybody's been knowing it, fam. We've been telling everybody that it's all about lineage. Let me start off with this certified foundational Black American message sponsored by Certified Black Society. Before anybody gets twisted what's going on in this world, we're going to get real geopolitical today. Somebody asked me what you can do. I said, Black Alpha, I do everything, baby. I do everything. So we're going to go down the geopolitical lane, and we're going to break it down structurally, intellectually, so everybody understands what's happening and what's occurring and how America was hot. The whole damn world was hot. And in the first week of 2026, it is on fire. And foundational Black Americans, we walk right through the flames. Let me tell you, we are doing what we always do. So when somebody sees this and they talk about it and they say, what's going on? Remember, we made our position clear. FBA certified 100. So everything that we're going to do is going to be in the best interest of us, not in the best interest of Venezuela, not in the best interest of Donald Trump, Republicans, Democrats, conservatives. Ain't giving a damn about none of them, fam. They ain't nothing but pieces on the chessboard, family. And we always yell checkmate. So it's all about FBA. And I'm going to tell everybody how us delineating, standing on our own lineage was the best thing to ever do. Because if you look around, y'all, everybody is going at it and everything's on fire. And that's fine. Fine and dandy. Let's take it there. Let me tell everybody what's happening, something we've been talking about. First and foremost, let me give y'all a certified salute and let me applaud y'all. And I'm going to tell you why. While a lot of other people are having a bunch of BS conversations, debating tethers for 25 hours, going back and forth, name banging. We've been focused on what's going on around the world right here. Fam, for all my certifieds, haven't we been the main ones telling everybody about the rescramble for Africa? If you don't believe me, think about the last time you've heard anybody ever say that other than us right here on this channel. Applaud yourself. Haven't we been telling everybody that Donald Trump is strategically placing military in places where he can just take over? You didn't hear that from anybody but yourself. So everything that we've been talking about is going on. Didn't we just say 2 weeks ago that the Nigerian situation was tied into the Venezuelan situation? And then we say going back to Thanksgiving. Think about it, fam. Thanksgiving happened. The next day, reverse migration. Christmas happened. Nigeria got bombed. And 2 days after New Year's, they done took Venezuela. Donald Trump ran up in Venezuela and he said, I'm going to take your BITCH and I'm going to take your money. And then I'm going to do a press conference and tell everybody. We're in a different time now, y'all. Yeah, certified. Salute yourself all damn day. The time frame that we're in right now is a time frame, quite frankly, y'all, nobody was ready for but us. What's happening today is you've got China, you've got America, and they're having all these proxy wars. And then you had Venezuela thinking that they were going to sell oil and have a relationship to China. Let me give you this example in clear proletarian language, fam. Let me make it plain like Malcolm X always tells us. Venezuela lives across the street from the United States of America. America don't get along with China, which means China is not going to come over here and start making deals with our neighbor that lives across the street. Nobody is going to be plugged in with the ops right across the street from America and think it's okay. And Donald Trump, his administration in the United States made it clear, if that's what you choose to do, Latin America, then we going to come in your house and we going to take your shit. And your president and his dusty ass wife are all going to be in handcuffs getting arrested with narco terrorism. Simple as that, fam. Simple as that. Yep, that's right, that's right, that's right. Bullseye. Family, you're going to hear a lot of people break it down in all these different ways. Black Alpha going to give it to you straight. Ain't nobody going to be selling oil or anything with the ops of America in America's backyard. It just don't work that way. You're hearing all these people talk about, well, the system and bureaucrats and fascism. It ain't about that. It's about what Black Alpha told you in the beginning, the golden rule. He with the gold makes the rules. That's just how it goes. Y'all notice, y'all, we the only ones who understand the system of supremacy. And you notice that all these other people, they don't really understand the system of supremacy. You notice that? You notice that all these migrants who come over here and they start trying to lecture us about supremacy, even though they're the puppets of it. You ever notice it never really adds up? Do you see the Venezuelans in the street celebrating right now? Do you see it, family? The Venezuelans right now are in the street jumping for joy. Let me say this. You're going to have a hard damn time jumping for joy here in a couple days when America takes over your damn country. Okay, fam, there's no reason you're out there and seeing things that are like this right here. Why are you seeing this right here, family? Why are you seeing this? Family, certifieds, y'all tell me right now, why in the hell is that a visual that we seeing? Why are you seeing this right here, family? Remember, though, these are the same people who come to America and try to talk to us and tell us about our homeland. We're going to go there. Yeah. We're going all the way live. We are going all the way live, y'all. Why are you seeing this? Because these are the same people who love the system of supremacy. That's why. These are nothing but supremacist lovers. Yes, indeed. And those damn supremacist lovers are coming here to America trying to tell us about supremacy. But every time you see their damn homeland get taken over, they out there waving the damn flag. You can't make this up. You can't make it up, family, but FBA gonna tell you what it's really hitting for. So now that you've seen that, let me take you to the streets, fam. Venezuelans are celebrating. It's the same thing that Nigeria was doing. Do you notice everywhere where America goes, the people who are getting their homeland overthrown by America? Because that's what this was. This was an overthrow, not a coup d'etat, an overthrow to disrupt China's relationship with Venezuela because Venezuela has the largest amounts of crude oil. Family, the world runs off of crude oil. We have the largest amounts of oil reserves in our backyard. Do you think we're going to let China have that? Do you think we're going to let anybody have that? Do you think America is going to let the largest amounts of oil reserve be sold to anybody other than us? Or will America just get gangster style, pull up to your hood, snatch up your damn president, arrest him, and then just tell everybody we taking it over? Let me take you to the streets while we doing it, fam. This right here is what we talking about. These people are in the streets and they celebrating the system of supremacy overthrowing their country. Watch.
Thank you, USA. Thank you, USA. I'm a Venezuelan. From a Venezuelan coming. Thank you so much, USA.
No sabes la emoción que siento que mi país sea libre. Estoy temblando, estoy emocionada. Gracias, Dios mío, gracias.
As a Venezuelan, I have some things to say. Firstly, I am immensely grateful and feel immensely blessed to be alive through the time where my country has been liberated.
Liberated? Family, listen to this. They believe that this is liberation. You mean to tell me that these individuals think that that's liberation? You're being liberated by the system of supremacy to somehow help you by taking your stuff. Let's go further. By the way, no, run that back. Here we go. You got Madrid, Spain celebrating, Venezuela celebrating, Argentina celebrating, Venezuela's in Times Square celebrating, in New York obviously celebrating, Miami in the USA celebrating. This is basically Master, come to me. Master, we're in it together with Master. I told y'all, I said it. I said any form of attention from the W is good attention. No matter if their attention has bad intentions. Meaning, if the dominant society's coming with bombs, they love it. It's still attention though. They got tanks, they love it. Still attention though. They got bamboo sticks. That's cool. It's still attention. These people don't operate like foundational Black Americans. Every last one of these people you see right here will be crying up very damn soon. They will be upset very damn soon because America don't come to liberate your country. America comes to overthrow your damn country. But don't listen to us. Let it go further.
Vamos a salir de Venezuela. Prepárense para celebrar Venezuela. Vamos a vivir en libertad. Vamos, Venezuela.
What the hell was that? What the hell?
Venezuela, vamos a vivir en libertad. Vamos, Venezuela.
Venezuela. You know what he was really saying? White man, white man, white man. Save me, save me, save me. I think I'm a white man, white man, white man. But the real white man, white man, white man will arrest me. These people think they white. I told y'all, family. These individuals are part of the dark white community. They don't think they got no melanin in them. Don't ever in your life come to us about segregation, delineation, separation, or anything that puts us over here in the they not like us crowd. Now you seeing why we delineate, fam. These are the same people that they tell us are the people of color and our friends. That's your Black and Brown coalition. Brothers and sisters, the Black and Brown coalition is out there celebrating getting bombed.
Para celebrar Venezuela, vamos a vivir en libertad. ¡Vamos, Venezuela! ¡Ese gobierno ya cayó!
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being a puppet for the system of supremacy so I can so elegantly lay it out for my brothers and sisters. That's what's really going on right now. There's a couple things at play here, right? You have the United States of America trying to take the presence further. That's what it's been about. When Trump came in just a couple months ago, and remember he was talking about the Gulf of America, everybody thought it was funny. Right here, and only right here on the Black Alpha Network, we were telling everybody what's happening now, what's going to happen. By the way, y'all, how many times do we tell people something's going to happen, and then it does happen? If you want to see some real prophecy, all you need to do is tap right on in to the Black Alpha Network. That's Tuesdays, Fridays, and we might do Sunday streams like right now. Wherever it go down at, you're going to see us right there holding it down. And we've been holding it down, telling everybody that the Gulf of America was about expanding into Latin America, okay? South America expansion, North America's planning, okay? To take the people in the land without asking, all right? I said that literally 10 years ago. And now you're seeing it come to fruition. And Donald Trump ain't lying about it. Family, Donald Trump is being 115% about what's going on. You got to remember this. We've seen this all happen before. The difference is we haven't really seen this go down in an aspect of he's just telling you, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we taking your stuff. He's not even playing about it. Do y'all remember during George W. Bush? George W. Bush would go out there and he would just say things, right? He would just make up lies to always cover up the overthrowing of a government. So George W. Bush would go out there and he said, we got to do it for, the people and, the terrorists. And we got to liberate the population. Donald Trump ain't talking about liberating the population. No. Remember Barack Obama? Remember he overthrew Libya. Remember that, y'all? What Barack Obama do? He said, it's all about liberation and the people, and we'll put a government in place. They played the game of overthrowing these people. Donald Trump's not playing that game. You have never seen a president say, I will bomb you. I will still kidnap, capture your president and his wife, and we're taking over. Make no bones about it. Donald Trump came out and said, we're going to run Venezuela. You've never seen that before. It's happened before, but you ain't never seen them come out and just admit it. He straight up told you. Basically, Donald Trump said, yeah, I'm going to slap your bitch. Yep, I'm going to run up in your crib. Yep, I'm going in your pockets. He told them I'm about to rob you. Just did it. Just did it. Off rip. Just, hey, why play the games? Let's just tell these people. Let's just tell them. That's just what it is. That's where we are. Let's take it a step further. People who do not believe us, he had this press conference, and this press conference is clear. Hey, mods, get this God loves Africans out of here. Get out of here. Okay, cool. Bounce. Okay, that's how you feel. Much cool. Get out. How about that? Get that person out of here. This ain't the time to place. You better be worrying about, hold. Freeze. You better be worrying about how much that the damn dominant society's rocking with Africa. That's what, hold on. This person right here, get this individual out. Get this individual out of here. I keep seeing you trolling. Here's your damn problem. Africans forever. There's another person. Get them out as well. Both of them got to go. Get them on out. Let me tell y'all this right now. That's your damn problem. You're too worried about God loves Africans. Does Trump? God loves all the African people. Does the American administration? Does the Russian administration? Huh? How about the Chinese administration? Still, you're in an FBA stream while literally they're telling you they're going all across the damn country and getting people the hell out. They're going to your country, dropping bombs on y'all, and you still in the FBA stream. Fam, they only proving our point further. They're only letting us know even more what we be talking about. Get the hell up out of here. This is what I'm saying, y'all. This is why we do what we do when we do it, okay? We do it the real way, the certified way, the authentic way, because we the only authentic ones in here. Trust me. This is why we tell people that these folks got misguided and undecided attention. You in an FBA stream right now talking about God loves Africans when y'all getting bombed right now. And then what's going on in Venezuela is about to double back and go on with you. So get your mind right, get your game tight, because you're out of here. Back to business. Donald Trump comes out, he has this press conference, and he just makes it clear we taking over.
Last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer, all perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time.
Freeze. Just a short period of time, meaning I told you what I was about to do, and then I went out there and I just did it. Straight up in front of everybody. Boy, they got the damn trolls in here. Fam, they got the trolls in here. Go ahead, keep on trolling. And you're going to keep on getting blew up. Ain't my problem. Try to tell you. If you would have listened to FBA, you'd understand. But you ain't want to listen. So that's what happens, family. Yeah, the chat moving fast. They in here. They watching. They know what it is, fam. They know. But guess what? They also know. They know that foundational Black Americans, we ain't got these problems, fam. This is what it's all about. I want y'all to notice what Trump was saying. And Trump be just blowing stuff up, too. I mean, no pun intended. But you seen him out there, and he was saying things like, well, you haven't seen this since World War II, and this is what it is. Watch this right here to double back on what he's saying, fam, and how he's making it crystal clear what's going down and how it's going to go down. Watch this. This is him saying we're going to run their country.
Until such time as
this right here, family, what we talk about.
We're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so.
A second and much larger attack if they need to. Fam, they getting it all in order. This is all the play, fam. It seems like we the only ones who be knowing what's going down and how they telling everybody. We've been the ones sitting here watching this, knowing damn well that these individuals are the same individuals who've been trying to overthrow the whole damn world. And that's what it is. And nobody else seems to understand that except for us. Did you say it's going to be another one, a second stage? Who else is involved?
Fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if we needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And
No, it won't. No, it won't. I done heard that one before. No, the hell it won't, family. There ain't no damn way that's going to happen. Nope. You're going to have to deal with the same exact thing.
will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas. Stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until.
Damn, man, that's all the way true. Everything that was just said right there is exactly what we knew, fam. Absolutely. They pulling the jack move. They pulling a straight jack move, fam. This is what this is. This is a straight up jack move gangster style. But if you think about it, fam, let me tell you everybody, and everybody understands this. Donald Trump just said we're running Venezuela. So America right now is the owners of Venezuela. But haven't they always been? Haven't they always been? Nope. In message to all the leaders out there in the world is that if you don't have America's agenda, America's forefront, you're not going to be able to succeed. It's always been that way, but like I was telling everybody, it's getting worse. Let me tell you why it's getting worse, fam. The reason why it's getting worse is because right now, the whole Africa situation. This all ties back into what we've been saying about the re-scramble for Africa. All of this jockeying of position that's going on right now in Latin America, that's been going on in Africa for quite some time. There's no coincidence that the playing field of this Cold War, this proxy war between America and China is Africa. Now that same situation is going on in Latin America, but you can't have this in Latin America, fam. Let me tell you again, in Latin America, you cannot have China in the backyard getting that oil. When you start thinking about the oil, you start thinking about what's going on in America. Look at that right there, family. Look at that. That right there is literally our backyard. Literally. Do you think you're going to see somebody flying all the way over from Asia and taking some type of resources from our backyard? Do you think that's going to happen? Or in the process, family, do you think something along the lines of that right there is going to happen? That right there is why you have this situation going down, because they're not allowing none of that. They letting it be known off top, off rip from the beginning, from the jump. If you feel that you are going to come to the United States of America, you will come to the United States and you will play by America's rules. Bottom line, point blank, take it or leave it. But that's just how it's going to be. And if you notice something else, fam, Donald Trump came out and he told the president of Colombia, who might be next, he came out and he told him, watch your ass. Fam, this stuff done got good. This done turned into a full movie. Donald Trump comes out and he tells the president of Colombia, watch your ass.
Mr. President, Colombian President Gustavo Petro, a couple weeks ago, he said he's got to watch his ass. And today he said he's not concerned about anything happening to him in the aftermath of this operation. So just what your message is about that.
Well, he has cocaine mills. He has factories where he makes cocaine. And yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine. They're sending it into the United States. So he does have to watch his ass.
Mr. President, did you notify any members?
Whoa! One more time.
Cocaine, they're sending it into the United States. So he does have to watch his ass.
Mr. President, did you notify any members of Congress in advance?
Come on, family. Come on. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. Did he just tell them you go ahead and you're going to have to watch your ass? Yeah, you ain't lying. Donald Trump out here deboing folks. He out here deboing folks for a long damn time. You damn right he is. I got you. I'm going to make you one. I see all the little trolls in the chat. I see what you're doing. I see you mad, ain't you? You mad, ain't you? You mad at the wrong people. I got y'all. Here we go. Ain't nothing to it. Yeah, you ain't lying. It's like tuning into a horror movie. Uh-huh. Absolutely. He on that gangster style. There you go. Fam, this is what we're talking about. They understand that the way things are playing out right now is it's got to go now. It's got to go down right now. And do y'all remember, again, we all said Donald Trump is going to start to use the cartels as a proxy and a prop to start invading people's countries. We called all this. For folks who ain't listening and folks who don't know, let them know, fam. We were calling all this and we said Donald Trump straight up simply is going to start using the cartels as a catalyst to go into these places. In Africa, it's the terrorist. In Africa, South Africa, it's the genocide. If you go over here to Latin America, it's the drug cartels. It's always something that they prop up to make you believe that there's something going down, family, that it really ain't. Okay? Understand that. Absolutely. Yeah, these trolls, a lot of these trolls, they're not even Africans. You absolutely right. Boy, they in here deep. We ain't never had this many before. You know what that means, though, right? They scared. What happens, fam? What do they do when they all get scared? They come running over to FBA spaces. Somebody said earlier, it ain't just here. I guess they've been all in FBA spaces all day. Is this what I'm hearing? Somebody told me that earlier. I heard that these trolls been all in these FBA spaces all damn day long, right? Why? Are you in FBA space? We were just live on Tuesday. We were just live on Friday, family. So we were just live on Friday and they weren't all in our space then. Why are you in our space now? Are you afraid? Are you scared? Are you upset? Are you nervous right now? Fam, I'm sensing a hell of a lot of nervousness from these damn trolls up in here. That's what I'm really getting. I'm seeing a hell of a lot of trolls who are absolutely positively afraid, and they do what they always do when they're afraid. Run up in an FBA space. Fam, you got to remember, these people are just like supremacists. The same way, when something bad happens on the planet, supremacists' first notion is to blame FBA or put it off on us, right? Remember what happened with the Charlie Kirk situation, all right? Mr. Mayo got Mr. Miracle Whip. First thing they did was start blaming us and threatening HBCUs. That's the same damn thing all of these trolls are doing. They done woke up and seen, oh, Trump ain't playing. They out here for real, for real. All that talk about y'all getting y'all homeland snatched up. Yeah, that picture right there, huh? That picture right there got you scared. And his wife is in there. Fam, this is what's happening. Trust me when I tell you. Trust me, y'all. We were just live on Friday. They weren't in here like this. Fam. Hell no. Check them in the chat. Fam. Let them know what it is. Let them know. You running up in here right now because you understand it ain't just Donald Trump talking. It ain't just deportation. Let me say this now, and let me make this super clear. Y'all notice it ain't about just deportation no more? Y'all notice it ain't just about deportation, right? Deportation is the least of the problems. Now what you're starting to see, these individuals are moving weight. They're saying, hold on, deportation, that's one thing. Now you got overthrowing whole nations. Big difference between deportation and overthrowing a nation. It's a big difference. And I'm going to tell you why they're so damn scared. You're scared, family, because they know this right here is going down. You're scared because you thought it was a game, and now you finding out ain't nobody playing with you.
So Donald Trump just told the Colombian president to watch his behind because he know that they are sending different things into this country that we don't need. So Donald Trump is telling another president from another country, he getting another warning. We're going to see if the president of Colombia going to follow through with that warning because Donald Trump say he's not playing. He know that they making that snow bunny, they making that white stuff and selling it to the country. They coming back and putting it over to the country. Donald Trump said, look, you see what I just did to the Venezuelan president? I just captured him. Do you want to get captured next?
Trump has put Colombian President Gustavo Petro on notice, sending...
Yeah, you notice that, fam? Do you want to be next? Who wants to be next on that damn screen? Who wants to be next on that screen? That's what's being told. This is why they're in here right now. This is why they're in here scared. They shook up. They're afraid because they understand they're going to be next on that screen. Now you can't run. Remember, y'all, the system of supremacy, they only deport those who come to America. For everybody else, they'll come to you. That's what's got them afraid. Watch them.
Sending him a fierce warning, telling him he's got to watch his ass. Those are direct words from Trump. This is a result of what Petro had said in condemning the United States military actions that have occurred on the ground, from the air, in Venezuela, as well as the capture and kidnapping of Maduro and his wife. Now, Petro has also called upon the UN and the OAS, as have other countries, to hold emergency sessions to discuss the legality of what Trump has done. Petro has also deployed Colombian troops to the Colombian-Venezuela border to manage the situation, but also manage the possible influx of refugees that are coming into the country. Now, Trump did say that he loves the Colombian people, but their leader, their new leader, is a troublemaker. He said he better watch it, better close up the cocaine factories. Trump said they have at least 3 major cocaine factories.
No, this ain't got nothing to do with that hyena, y'all. The hyena is just an excuse for the invasion. Fam, it ain't no different than WMDs in Iraq, fam. It's always something different.
We know where they are, and they better close them up fast. Trump also said their cocaine is made and sold in the United States and comes through Mexico. Those were his exact words, regardless of how that just sounded. Those were Trump's words.
D-Zam, you got to be able to read between all of that, family. You got to be able to see exactly what they saying, exactly what they doing, exactly what's happening right now. All of that stuff is simple. See, this is one thing, fam, where there's not a lot of deciphering to do. You don't really got to dig that deep to find out what's happening. You just heard what they said. He told the president of Colombia, get your ish together. Y'all remember all that back talk from the Mexican presidency? When Donald Trump became president, he made it clear that he's going to take over Latin America. He straight up said, yeah, Brazil too, absolutely. He straight up said, listen, I'm coming into Latin America, I'm taking it over. Donald Trump is just telling them. And remember, they was talking loud, they was talking about the terrorists, all that kind of stuff, fam. Now look at the situation. Now what you're seeing with all of that back talk, it's starting to go down, and this is why they're trying to troll right now. Don't be surprised if a lot of these people are a bunch of Venezuelan people. Half the trolls, fam, let me say this. The trolls in here right now are the same damn people on that travel ban. That's it. We got some travel ban trolls in here. Are you mad because you can't go nowhere? Are you mad because the jig is up and time is up? You've been running around here trying to be up underneath the dominant society. Now the dominant society trying to put you underneath the ground. Is that what it's about? Don't be mad, fam. FBA right now is being attacked by a bunch of travel ban trolls. That's all it is, fam. That's all it is. We know what it is, fam. Look at it. Hey, you think it's a coincidence that everything's getting hot right now in America? Everything's getting extra hot in the world. The United States government just did a complete takeover of Venezuela, told Colombia you next, Mexico you next, Nigeria over there waiting and sweating. And now you got all these trolls popping up afraid, y'all. Look at the chat now. What, it went to 42,000. Now they're doing the number jumping again. You got trolls in here. You got all the numbers flopping. Why is it that FBA's out here being targeted and we only reporting the news? I don't see none of this having anything to do with FBA. FBA still out here focused, strong, passionate, holding it down, got style, and getting our reparations money. Y'all think it's a coincidence? I be telling everybody. They watching. They watching right now. Fam, we started at 7 o'clock. They was in here at 7:02. They was already in here waiting. Travel ban trolls. And somebody told me this been going on all across foundational Black American spaces. Y'all out here getting bizarmed, getting completely taken over. And the first thing you do is say, let's go hop in a foundational Black American space. But guess what? We don't give a damn. Because while you out here worrying about us, you need to be worrying about that damn homeland, because that homeland is in ruins. But nah, they don't understand, fam. They don't want to understand. That's why they can only understand that right there. See, this is what it is. Too many of them are getting put in handcuffs. Can I go there, brothers and sisters? Can I really say what's really real in the field? They're afraid right now because a lot of them are all getting put in handcuffs. That's what it is. You getting put in handcuffs when you come to this country and you get deported. You getting put in handcuffs when your ass gets invaded. You getting put in handcuffs every time you show up. So is that why you mad? And you're really getting put in handcuffs because of this right here. Don't be mad at FBA when your country is getting pulverized.
That breaking news happening in South America after the U.S. military operations in Venezuela capturing President Nicolás Maduro.
Maduro is now in U.S. custody and on U.S. soil this evening. Today, President Trump announced that the U.S. will run Venezuela, at least temporarily, and tap its vast oil reserves.
Damn! We will run Venezuela and we will tap their oil reserves. Sound like he's saying we're going to run them pockets. That's what we say.
President Trump posted this image on his social media page with the caption, Nicolás Maduro.
They putting this man on photos. They sending a message, brothers and sisters. This is a message to the world. You gonna play by America's rules with this whole damn war going on, or else. And all the leaders are sweating, and apparently them travel ban trolls are upset as well.
On board the USS Iwo Jima, we are now learning Mr. Trump watched from Mar-a-Lago as multiple explosions and low-flying aircraft were heard around 2 a.m. local time in the Venezuelan capital city of Caracas.
The Trump administration says it did not inform Congress of this operation out of fear of information leaking. But for weeks now, the U.S. had been ramping up pressure on Maduro, seizing 2 oil tankers, pursuing a third, and striking alleged drug boat smugglers with missiles. Maduro and his wife have now been charged with drug crimes against the U.S. and conspiracy.
Drug crimes against the U.S. Listen to that right there, fam. When they start using that language, I want everybody to hear that. That language right there is a slippery slope. They start talking about drug crimes against the U.S. How many of you guys remember when Donald Trump came out and he said he is going to war with the cartels? He said this before he was elected. He said he's waging war on them because they wage war on us. To the average listener, they just heard that and said, oh, there go Donald Trump again. To Certified 100, we said, whoa, that right there is going to be a catalyst to now he can run up on anybody. Look at that, fam. And there's a new term that you're starting to hear. Y'all notice you've been hearing this term more and more, and it's called narco-terrorist. A narco-terrorist. And then I got to ask the question, is Ronald Reagan a narco-terrorist? What about Nancy Reagan? Are they narco-terrorists? You know, the people who put that stuff in the Black community, if we keep in score, and I always do. Exactly. They come up with these terms, narco-terrorists. He says statements like waging war on cartels, because now he's going to use that as a catalyst to go into every single Latin American country. That gave him the proxy to go right on in, fam. Right on in. That's exactly what he was doing. He said, okay, let me come up with a term. All right, think about it. In Nigeria, it's the Christians are being harmed, right? In South Africa, it's the farmers are being harmed, right? In Latin America, it's narco-terrorist and it's drug crimes against America. And that gives you the catalyst to come on in and arrest folks. Snatch their ass up, get them out the way, and you can do this forever. You can do this forever, fam. I want everybody to know there ain't no limit to that. You can do that as long as you choose. When does that stop, fam? When does that stop? You can play that game as long as you want to play that game. And I believe that they playing it for the long haul. For the long haul. Now that's really what it is. They playing it for the long haul because they understand, quite frankly and quite simply, y'all, is that the United States of America is in a very serious situation. I'm going to tell you what it is. The global influence of all of these other nations, that global influence is creating an environment now where America got to get a stronghold on it. Everybody knows about BRICS. When you start talking about BRICS, these individuals are threatening the US dollar. If you're threatening the US dollar, that will weaken America. That won't happen. For that, you have to go. There's a simple thing in the world, fam. If you disrespect people of power, the golden rule, your ass got to go. You ain't new. This has been going on. Where you want to go to? You want to go to Saddam Hussein? Saddam Hussein used to be a partner of the United States of America. Hell, you got photos and footage of Donald Rumsfeld, Dick Cheney, George H. Bush. They over there shaking his hand. Yep. Then he started to threaten systems. You start looking at Libya with Gaddafi. Gaddafi wanted to help assist Africa and make more of a true African union. And he also wanted to give millions of dollars to America. For that, he had to go. They said, we don't give a damn. Gotcha. And by the way, remember Donald Trump was the main one talking about Libya and how bad it was with Barack Obama. Now he's doing the same exact thing. That's why I tell everybody, there ain't no size up in here, family. It's only FBA. It's only foundational Black Americans. We ain't on Trump's side. We ain't on the Libyan side, the Venezuelan side, the Nigeria side, the Democrat side, the Green side. We ain't on no sides but our own side, because our own side is the only one that matters. And I want everybody to notice this. When you say it gets real, fam, they done went into extra trolling up in here. And you know what? I don't give a damn.
Yo, Trump put the president of Venezuela in a Nike tech and is shipping him off to New York. I don't know if it's just a coincidence or this man trying to pull a double troll. Since the capture of the president of Venezuela, the citizens have been turning up. A lot of them have been going live, showing parades, some of them chanting. They're even turning up in Miami right now. A lot of them feel as if that they've been freed from someone that they've seen as a dictator. Trump has also stated that the U.S. will now be in charge of Venezuela until they are able to find a person to basically put as a new president.
Damn. America has taken over Venezuela. America is officially running Venezuela. Wow. I listened to the press conference, the news briefing, and wow, these narco terrorists will be brought before judges. Okay. But there's a lot of conversation about oil. It's really clear now. America has taken back what was stolen from them, and America's going to sell the shit out of oil.
Seeing a lot of Venezuelans here in America celebrating the capture of Maduro. And I guess he was just a fucked up dude in y'all country. I don't know. But y'all did see Trump's press conference, I hope. Because it's like jumping out of the frying pan into the motherfucking fire. Trump plans on taking y'all country. Oh, and don't worry now. Don't think just because he captured Maduro, y'all celebrating here, he's still gonna let you stay. No.
Whoa, this brother cooking. Listen what this brother's saying. Y'all think just because he got rid of Maduro that y'all gonna stay in America, fam? Is this a little posturing? Do the Venezuelans here in America feel that this is gonna be their way to stay? Is this what's going on? Is this more tether on tether crime, y'all? Is this brown on brown crime? Is this dark white on dark white crime? It sounds like a lot of these Venezuelans think if we throw Maduro under the bus, America's gonna let us stay and not deport us. This is what this is sounding like.
He's still sending everybody back home. The sad thing for many of y'all not understanding, y'all gonna go home to nothing. Because Trump now plan on digging up every motherfucking thing. Y'all got that motherfucker. And he gonna probably have y'all doing the digging. So thinking that this is a good thing, I don't know. Maybe y'all should have calmed down a little bit and waited this out before you start celebrating. Because pretty soon, y'all gonna be looking at it like, shit, we wish Maduro was back. United States is taking your country.
Damn. I couldn't put that more clear my damn self. You heard that? You heard that, right? Everybody heard that? There you go, right there, fam. They out there celebrating, They like, Miracle Whip. You gonna get Miracle Whipped while you sitting there digging up all them damn resources and handing them away. Fam, this sounds like a lot of them here in America that want to stay. This is what this is, fam. A lot of these people want to stay in America, and they view the situation going on right now in Venezuela as an opportunity to get on the W's good side. They feel if they can throw Maduro under the bus, they can praise America, they can say, thank you, Donald Trump, then maybe Donald Trump will let him stay. I'm here to tell you, no, the hell he's not. No. So you're going to get deported, sent back to your homeland, and then your homeland that you love so much, it'll be right there waiting for you. So you need to go ahead and just take care of it. That's really what you need to do. Take care of your homeland, take care of your situation, and just mind your own business. That sounds like what it should be, and that's exactly what it is. And can't nobody make no bones about it, because if you look and you start to watch and witness, these things have been going on for a minute. But let me tell you and bring it all the way back. Remember, we were talking about narco-terrorism and the drug crimes. A lot of people don't know this, but this Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, family, they've had a warrant out for this guy for quite some time. There was a warrant out for this guy. This guy was being sought after and seeked from day one, and they was trying to get him on out the paint. Absolutely, they have been. This right here was the dominant society doing the same tactics in which they always do. They come up with these type of games. They put out a little thing for him, and they was out there to go get him. Yeah, they was on this guy for a minute, fam. So a lot of people are saying Donald Trump is simply just coming out and he's executing the warrant. You're going to see this more. You're going to see more warrants for these leaders in Latin America that do not want to play ball with America. See, everything's about playing ball. Are you going to play ball with America in America's backyard? Yes or no? Simple question, simple answer. Yes, you're going to play ball. Then you're going to do what America tells you to do. No, you're not going to play ball. Well, then America's going to put out that right there, a nice little mugshot and a reward for you, most wanted list. And then America's going to follow that up by showing the whole world your narco terrorism. And then they're just going to come and arrest you and your wife in the middle of the night. And it might go bad. You might not make it out. That's what they're doing. This is exactly what they've been doing. This is what they've been trying to do. And quite frankly, it's all happening. And it's something that we said was going to happen quite some time ago. And this is why everybody's out there afraid. But a lot of brothers and sisters in America, we sitting here looking and we saying, okay, all y'all Venezuelans, how come y'all don't just go on back to Venezuela? You see, it makes no sense with a Venezuelan saying that they fled to America and now it's so good. Well, if it's so good, then you need to go back to Venezuela. And a lot of people are questioning it. And a lot of people are saying, go ahead and tell me what it is and go make Venezuela great. Watch this.
Say that, you know what, we gonna run the country. And then this is the thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Venezuelan people in Florida that was out there having a whole fiesta parade about this, that was all excited to see what happened over there in that country. I want to talk about the Venezuelan people that think that this is okay, that live down there in Miami and Florida and all that. I want to talk about them and the ones who think that this is okay. Now, this is where I'm at. If y'all think that's okay, then why don't y'all just pack y'all bags and go ahead and go home then? Now,
there you go. Pack your bags and go home.
If y'all think that's okay, then why don't y'all just pack y'all bags and go ahead and go home then? Now that y'all got what y'all wanted, he not in power no more. And if this is such a great thing, then go ahead and pack your bags and go hop back on your blood plane and go back over there. That's what I want to know. Y'all want to celebrate while in Florida. Y'all want to sit in Florida and celebrate what happened, but y'all don't want to go get on the plane, on the first plane back to Venezuela. So y'all y'all don't want to do that. Y'all only want to like support it from Florida and y'all cozy homes, but y'all don't want to go get on the plane and go back to Venezuela. Don't say that, you know.
No, I never want to go back. Never want to go back. Never want to go back. Not at all. That's just what it is. Nobody ever wants to go back to their homeland. They always want to sit up in our homeland, and they always want to sit here and hate on us. Let me tell you another thing I'm seeing. Brothers and sisters, I got my certifieds in here. These trolls is in here deep. Yeah, salute to all the mods. Salute to all the mods. Somebody else want to be a mod, let me know. I'll give you some power to be a mod so you can get these people out of here. Fam, do y'all see a hell of a lot of anti-American hatred coming from these trolls in this chat right now? This is what I'm gathering here. Seems like there's a hell of a lot of anti-American trolls who are in these chats, who are coming to FBA spaces, getting mad at us because we are the foundation of America. All throughout social media, you're seeing all of these people from all these foreign backgrounds. I believe a lot of them are travel ban tethers who are upset and they ain't got that smoke for the dominant society, so they coming up in our spaces. There's a hell of a lot of anti-Americanism in here, isn't it? Are they mad at foundational Black Americans because we stand on lineage business? Are they mad at foundational Black Americans because we are Americans, fam? Let me tell you what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing Africans in this chat right now. A lot of them ain't Africans. How many of y'all seen the Arabic language? I seen a bunch of Arabic writing in here, fam. So you're talking about the Arabs in here. I seen a couple Venezuelans in here. So you're talking about Latin America, the Middle East, and Africa coming heavy into our chats, fam. You know this was all set up. This didn't happen, fam. This just didn't happen, fam. I very rarely go live on Sundays. Very rarely. So these people have been listening and watching, haven't they? Y'all know we do Tuesdays and Fridays. Very rarely, unless it's breaking news like today, do we go live on Sunday. How the hell did they know by the thousands to run up in our space? Are they watching? Are they listening? Did they get the notification? Have they been seeing? Let's be honest. Are they afraid and petrified? You damn right that's what's going on. You damn right that's what's going on, family. Absolutely. These are travel ban tethers all damn day long. Travel ban trolls all damn day long. They're afraid and they're shook, and that's just how the game goes. And it's not going to change nothing because the same game that you playing is the same as that game that you're going to lose at. Check this out, fam. This is what I'm saying. You want to talk about why these people are afraid? Watch her. She says Western thuggery on show. Watch how afraid she is. Her voice is cracking. America don't get us now. She in here sounding like these damn travel ban trolls. Africa and America, we love y'all. Don't do it to us, please. Nah, you did it to yourself.
So the country that preaches democracy has literally gone to another country, kidnapped their leader with his wife, and he's literally been overthrown. The president of Venezuela.
Stop. First off, did I do a damn good impression? Wasn't that pretty good, y'all? The country that hurt us is out to get us. Yeah, I understand that, Miss Fufu. But listen, that ain't even the point, y'all. Family, notice what she was about to say. She had a slip up. She had a slight slip up, and I'm not sure if you heard it, certified. Listen to this woman. She was about to say the family got deported. See, she's so used to deportation because that was their original problem. Watch her almost say, get deported. And then she stops and says, ends up getting arrested. Watch her, fam. She was about to say deported. She realized deportation is not the problem here. Overthrowing your government is.
A leader with his wife, and he's literally been, and he's literally been with his wife, and he's literally been overthrown.
Y'all caught that? Y'all heard that, right? Did you see, fam? She was about to say and got deported. See, that was their scary thing, number one. Their number one thing was deportation. Y'all notice now, deportation is becoming secondary. America coming to your hood. America pulling up. Remember all the Nigerians that were afraid of getting deported? Now you notice the Nigerians see America's going over to Nigeria to see about them. The Venezuelans ain't talking about deportation as much. Now they're talking about America kicking in that front door. She was about to say deported. The ante been upped. The game done changed. It's another level now. Now these folks are saying, not only are we kicking you out of America, but America's coming to your place. And we still got smoke. You should have listened to us about the system of supremacy.
And he's literally been overthrown. The president of Venezuela has been overthrown by Donald Trump because Donald Trump and Marco Rubio believe that the oil that is basically in Venezuela belongs to American companies. This is banditry. This is it. They're showing you everything that the West has done for 400 years. Thuggery, going to different countries.
Then why are y'all so surprised? How you gonna start off talking about look what's happening? You don't sound like somebody who's known this has been going on for 400 years. You sound like somebody who thought they was gonna be nice to you and focus on Black Americans. Fam, you notice how she started off talking about how bad it's getting, and then she starts trying to tell us it's been going on for a long time? Sounds like you just got this information. You ain't been known this because y'all didn't listen to us when we told you. Listen how she starts.
The country that preaches democracy has literally gone to another country, kidnapped their leader.
And you told me you knew about this for 400 years. If you know about this for 400 years, then you shouldn't be over here now talking like this.
This is it. They're showing you everything that the West has done for 400 years.
No, first off, the fact that you think for 1 second your new and improved way is different. No, absolutely, my sister. She sounds super nervous. Let me tell y'all this right here, and I mean this on everything. A lot of people now are upset. The reason why we have those travel ban trolls in the chat, fam, because they know foundational Black Americans have been telling them about the system of supremacy. Now are all y'all seeing the people that we try to warn about the system of supremacy, and they all told us be quiet because they wanted to be a part of the system of supremacy. Now, do y'all notice the nervousness and the desperation and the broken and battered energy coming from them? We told everybody this. Make no bones about it, y'all. FBA, we told the Middle East about the system of supremacy. They didn't give a damn. They wanted to be a partner. We told Africa about the system of supremacy. They didn't give a damn. They wanted to be a partner. We told Latin America. They said, we don't give a damn. We're dark white anyway. Why you care? Notice down in Venezuela, down in Cuba, down in Mexico and Puerto Rico, they all treat the darker complected people like dirt. And yet they're out here celebrating Donald Trump coming over there with bombs. Fam, you celebrating somebody pulling up with bombs? Family, I want everybody to know this. And I mean this, y'all. I want everybody to notice the fact right now that all of these countries are celebrating when America goes over there and bombs them. These are the same people who come over here to the United States of America and have anti-Black American sentiment, which means it's great that we delineated the hell away from them. All of these people, you see the one denominator? America goes over to Africa, to the Middle East, or to Latin America, and they completely pillage these people, and the people are out there celebrating. The same exact immigrants who come over here and complain about America and have anti-Black American hatred are the same exact people that in their homelands, they're praising America, dropping bombs on them. This is why we separate, delineate, and regulate. No time for those people. If you want my translation, we were correct, everybody. We were right exactly what we were doing. We were absolutely positively correct to separate from them. And let me make this clear. When you're seeing these people talk, like she's talking right there, and you're seeing these people nervous like all of them are, don't get it tangled nor twisted. These individuals welcome America. Remember with Nigeria, fam, they found out that the Nigerian government was working with Donald Trump and saying, come on in. Still making the same mistakes, fam. What do we always hear? You got to remember, y'all, they tell a different story whenever they're trying to scam us. I'm going to give you the scam Black American version of their story, and then I'm going to give you the reality of their story. The scam and Black American version of the story is very simple. Whenever they're trying to scam foundational Black Americans, brothers and sisters, the main thing they do is they try to give us some type of crash course in the system of supremacy. Well, this is really about supremacy. We know, because foundational Black Americans, we are the number one people who understand the system because we're the number one people who fight against it. But they come over here and they try to tell us about the system of supremacy. They tell us what we need to do, how things are going. But yet you don't see any type of resistance from these people over there. You don't see any of that, fam. You see a bunch of people who come over here to the United States of America and they hate on us. That's what you see. You dig? So we understand that these individuals are out here. Yeah, you ain't lying. The chat got an alien invasion. But we certify saluting over everybody. Understand this. You didn't accept the system of supremacy. You want to be a part of the system of supremacy. Now you're seeing that the system of supremacy got a big old target on you. All of them. And everywhere you go all across the world, fam, you starting to see the same thing. Let me show y'all this. How about this right here, y'all? Do you see what I'm talking about? I showed y'all what's going on in Venezuela. Now, let me show y'all what Nigeria was doing. Look at this. In Nigeria, family, they were celebrating Donald Trump coming over and dropping them things on them. Look at this. Look at that right there, fam. That's it. Look at that. Christians in Nigeria celebrating. They celebrating Donald Trump coming on over there, fam. You're seeing a hell of a lot of these people who are singing the praises of the dominant society going over there and dropping them things on them. You dig? You see what I'm saying? Look at that. That looks just like the damn Venezuelans. Family, look at that. Look at them people out there dancing. They out there. This is who they tell us to connect with. What's the difference between that right there and this right here? What's the difference? Right there, fam, you're still seeing these people celebrating the system of supremacy. You still see them out there doing it. What are we talking about, brothers and sisters? It's the same game, same players, same time. And we the only ones who have been truthful about it. And I'm loving it, though. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Because the more they do that right there, the more we do this right here. We stand on our own and we completely have stayed away from all the shenanigans going on. Now, when you start looking at America and you start looking at China, this is what this has always been about. I want everybody to look at these examples of what I mean by crude oil, family. Right here, what you're going to see is the crude oil and the oil reserves in the world. Venezuela has the most oil reserves on the planet. Point blank, bottom line, simple play. So if you see right there, family, that they already have the most oil reserves and America ain't gonna get it, nah, bruh, that ain't the way the game is played. That ain't how they gonna do anything. They're letting you know off top that that oil will belong to the United States of America and nobody else. And the people who don't understand that are the people who don't understand that. But let me ask y'all a question to the certifieds. Who y'all think is next? Who's next on this list? Fam, this is a list being compiled here. This is a checklist of places and people that they want to go to. Everybody knows that the George W. Bush administration, the neocons, everyone knows that they had a list of Middle Eastern places that they were going to go to. And I'd be damned if they didn't go to every single one of them. Remember, they was like Afghanistan, Iraq. They was going to go to Pakistan. They were going to go all the way through there, fam. So my question to you is, who's next? Somebody says Iran. A lot of people see that it's going to be a different thing. Somebody, Colombia, Cuba. Don't forget Nigeria as well, fam. They already kind of there right now. You notice this, Cuba, another one. Cuba, another one. Yep. This is what we're talking about. Colombia. The Greenland. Yep. I'm glad you brought up Greenland. Absolutely. Great point right there. Because Donald Trump just came out and he threatened Greenland and he tells them we need Greenland. Fam, they're telling you who's getting taken over. We've been the only ones bold enough to tell everybody that this was the long-term plan. And now the long-term plan is being shown broad day. Watch them say Greenland is on notice as well.
He felt very strongly we need it for we need Greenland for national security, not for minerals. We have so many sites for minerals and oil and everything. We have more oil than any other country in the world. We need Greenland for national security. And if you take a look at Greenland, you look up and down the coast, you have Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need it for national security. We have to have it. And he wanted to lead the choice. So we're making him, Marco, today, a special envoy.
Dang, and look at Marco Rubio being a nice little tether pet. Look at that, fam. He's telling him, he's like, come on, Marco. Marco, you good, Marco. Come on in, Marco. We fine, Marco. Look at this, man. This is what I'm talking about right here, right now. Follow me now. They're telling everybody. He told everybody. See, this is the difference, fam. Donald Trump ain't doing what George W. Bush did or Barack Obama did. Barack Obama came with this whole thing about liberating the people. It was all cap. They really just wanted their stuff, right? And then George W. Bush came up with WMDs, just coming up with tactics to come on in a smooth process. Donald Trump told everybody, we took over and we're running Venezuela. No bones about it, clear as day. Then he said, we're taking over the oil because y'all don't pump enough oil. He's telling the world. Then on top of that, he told the president of Colombia, watch your ass. Literally, he told him that. On top of that, he just told Greenland, we need y'all for national security. What national security are they talking about? They're talking about the influence all across this whole world, fam. And it all goes back to what we've been telling everybody about the rescramble for Africa. Family, if Africa is going to be pillaged by all these different colonizers, America got to get in on that. What you thought? America was just going to let China and Russia go over there and just take all the resources? Hell no. Hell no. You're starting to see the globalist agenda for Donald Trump, where the globalist agenda for Joe Biden was open borders. Donald Trump is more about American takeover and influence by any means. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now. And he's just telling everybody, say, hey, listen, we're going to run up on you. Fam, expect more names, expect more excuses. And you're going to hear that narco-terrorism for all of the people that they want to overthrow in Latin America. And you're going to hear more about Christians being persecuted over in Africa. Both of them are about influence. Ain't got nothing to do with no damn narco. Fam, if America wanted to do something about drugs, they could shut it down overnight. And what you come to find out is a lot of times the main dealer in America be the damn government. You know what I'm talking about. So if you really had it about drugs, you could shut that down. This ain't about drugs, fam. This ain't never been about drugs. Because drug money, oil money are two different types of money, okay? Drug money, family, that is the Source Awards. That's the BET Awards, all right? Understand that. Oil money, that's the Grammy Awards. That's the Oscars. They playing for big stakes up here. They ain't worrying about that when you got people coming up in your hood unnecessary and they trying to pull up on you. That's the biggest difference. And this is why you're starting to see Marco Rubio pop up more. because they're going to use Marco Rubio the same way that the Bush administration ended up using Colin Powell. Another little person of color that they can pull on in and have them tell different tales. Did you see this one right here? Marco Rubio right here. Again, watch him. He's making more declarations. Watch.
Let's go bonkers.
Is the Cuban government the Trump administration's next target, Mr. Secretary? Very quickly.
Well, the Cuban government is a huge problem. Yeah.
Fam, you got Colombia, Cuba, Greenland, Venezuela, Nigeria, and you only got 4 of them within the last 24 hours. They telling you, fam, this is a campaign, a take over everybody campaign.
Let's go bonkers.
Is the Cuban government the Trump administration's next target, Mr. Secretary? Very quickly.
Well, the Cuban government is a huge problem. Yeah, the Cuban government is a huge problem. First of all,
is that a yes?
Cuba, but I don't think people fully appreciate. I think they're in a lot of trouble. Yes, I'm not going to talk to you about what our future steps are going to be and our policies are going to. I think they're in a lot of trouble. Yes. I think they're in a lot of trouble. Yes, I'm not going to talk to you about what our future steps are going to be and our policies are going to be right now in this regard. But I don't think it's any mystery that we are not big fans of the Cuban regime, who, by the way, are the ones that were propping up Maduro. His entire internal security force, his internal security apparatus is entirely controlled by Cubans. One of the untold stories here is how, in essence, you talk about colonization, because I think you said Dulce Rodriguez mentioned that the ones who have sort of colonized, at least inside the regime, are Cubans. It was Cubans that guarded Maduro. He was not guarded by Venezuelan bodyguards. He had Cuban bodyguards. In terms of their internal intelligence, who spies on who inside to make sure there are no traitors, those are all Cubans.
Man, look at this. Hey, fam, y'all let me know. Is Marco Rubio, ain't he Cuban? Is he Cuban, fam? What is Marco Rubio? Is he a Cuban? I don't know, fam. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Close enough. You know, Puerto Rican, Costa Rican, close enough. Fam, is he Cuban? Because look what he was doing, fam. He was just saying, it's Cuba. Cuba, Cuba, Cuba. Cuba did it. Did you hear about Cuba? Cuba, Goody Jr.? No, Cuba. That man was talking about Cuba. He fit in Cuba 100 damn times as much as he could. As much as he could. Oh, so he is Cuban. Okay, look at him throwing his people under, but they go to tether on tether crime. I told y'all. So Donald Trump is going to use Marco Rubio, which we knew. He's going to use Marco Rubio as a catalyst to go ahead and infiltrate and go inside and to bring Cuba down. Cuba's going to happen next. Cuba's been on America's hit list for the longest amount of time. Let me propose a question to everybody, okay? I'm going to propose this question and y'all let me know how you feel about this. When you start talking about the United States of America and you start talking about overthrowing these governments and overthrowing all these people, do you allow the biggest ops of the United States of America to be partners with a Latin American country in your backyard? Give you an example. If you're the United States of America, do you allow a random Latin American country to be best friends with Russia? Do you allow a random Latin American country to be best friends with China? Do you allow that in America? Because this is where you go to. And I'm asking this because there's a lot of things, fam, and we're going to break it down from all different angles, y'all. But my question becomes, do you allow that to happen? Do you allow that to go on? Do you say, yeah, China can be best friends with Venezuela? Yeah, Russia can be best friends with Cuba. Or do you say, no, that ain't happening? Do you get geopolitical? Because remember, y'all, this ain't a game of emotions. This is the hurt business. This is geopolitics. Leave the emotions at the door. Nobody's ever been successful in geopolitical moves based on love for somebody. It's only about interest. That's what it's about. So a lot of people say, nope. A lot of people saying, hell no. You got to remember, how many of you guys remember hearing about the Cuban Missile Crisis? Okay, the Cuban Missile Crisis, family, was obviously something that occurred in the 50s, I believe it was. And what that was Russia was putting nuclear warheads in Cuba's backyard. Cuba is in our backyard. That ain't gonna fly. Because who's to say, family, as this amps up, that Venezuela and China get closer, Venezuela's enriching China with a lot of this oil. And who's to say eventually China doesn't say, we're going to go ahead and put some tanks in Venezuela. So now you have Chinese tanks in America's backyard. You see how close Venezuela is to America. I think a lot of people think Venezuela is in deep Mesoamerica. No, it's not. It is in northern portion of Southern America. Okay, you don't allow that to happen. The Cuban Missile Crisis, absolutely. The Bay of Pigs. The Bay of Pigs was a situation that ended up getting messed up, but that were the people in the American government saying, we can't allow this stuff. Hell no. Do you know they had the nuclear clock, family, with the Cuban Missile Crisis? They had the nuclear clock, and when the clock struck 12, that means there was nuclear war. Do you know that clock got to like 11:57? Do you know that, family? 11:57. Had that happened, none of this would be here right now. Why did that happen? It's because Russia put nuclear warheads in Cuba. And you had people saying, well, we can't overthrow a government. That's not what we should be doing. You sure about that? Are you sure about that? But that's just the way the game goes. See, I know a lot of people think foundational Black Americans, we just sit here all damn day long and we just have pointless debates. No, we break things down thoroughly, intellectually, because we understand the way the system and the structure operates, because we the main ones maneuvering through it. So that's the main thing. And a lot of people looking at it, they saying, no, we can't have that. We can't have nobody pulling up nowhere. Let me show y'all this. I want y'all to notice this. This is what is called the Monroe Doctrine, okay? This is one of the biggest pieces of policy in the world, but it is the biggest policy in terms of geopolitical standing. The Monroe Doctrine is one of the most influential principles in U.S. foreign policy. Established in 1823 by President James Monroe, although largely written by Secretary of State John Quincy Adams. It is essentially declared the Western Hemisphere off limits. It says to European powers. It was updated to all powers. Always remember, y'all, the Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine means that Venezuela right there can't be hanging out in the United States or anywhere near. That's what the Monroe Doctrine is. And America can all play that game. See, fam, you're going to have the reality, then you're going to have the fantasy. Let me tell y'all what the reality is. The reality with the Monroe Doctrine is that America belongs to America, but the whole Western Hemisphere belongs to America. That's just what it is. You ain't coming into the Western Hemisphere with no type of smoke or animosity towards America. That ain't happening. You think Russia is going to have different types of platforms in Canada? Do you think China is going to have different types of platforms in Cuba or Venezuela? That ain't how it goes on, fam. That is not how it goes on, not in this world we live in. So we operate by the Monroe Doctrine, which means that not only does America run this country, we run the whole Western Hemisphere. And that prevents people from invading, and that prevents people from having close ties. So message is this. You go ahead as a Latin American country and think that you run something. You don't. I'm going to say this, fam, and this is what it is. Latin Americans don't run nothing. Latin America, here's your issue. Latin Americans were created by the transatlantic slave trade. All right. I'm just going to say what it is. Latin Americans were created by the transatlantic slave trade. That's the first thing they always telling Black folks, right? Well, we was there first. Now we had this. You don't run nothing. Nobody who's a neighbor of America runs their yard. America does. Okay. You ain't going to be somebody who lives in the neighborhood with the mafia and think you run something. No, the hell you don't. Do you think the mafia is going to be living here? You live across the street from this mafia boss, but that mafia boss can come on over for dinner. That ain't how it works. Latin America is owned by the United States. And if you look, every Latin American president, leader, or dictator that has ever went off script against America, America has punished them. It reprimanded them and gave them penalties, harsh ones. Where you want to go, fam? You want to go to Hugo Chavez? And by the way, Nicolas Maduro, who was now the ex-vice president of Venezuela, he was the person who was the predecessor who came after Hugo Chavez. They took out Hugo Chavez, right? They took out Fidel Castro, right? You can go to Nicaragua. They got rid of their president, the Brazilian guy. Remember when all of those Latin American presidents and dictators suspiciously were falling ill? And then they just went off the map one by one by one. If you want to look at it, fam, look at it as simple as this. You got Latin America, and they are owned by the United States. You got Africa, and they're owned by Europe. Think about it the same way. America's here. Look at it, family. America's north of Latin America, and America, United States, runs Latin America. Europe is north of Africa, and Europe runs all of Africa. Each time in each place you have a European dominant society that is vertical above these other nations of color, and the other nations of color bow the hell down to the Europeaners and to the American Miracle Whips. That's just what it is, family. Whether they like it or not, that's just how the game goes. So since that's the way the game goes and the game is moving and operating in that way, then now you understand the way things are functioning. And a lot of people are just saying, no, you can't have that. You can't tolerate that. You can't have nobody popping up over here in America and being down with the people that we got problems with. It just makes no sense politically. However, let me paraphrase that by saying this. You're still dealing with the system of supremacy. Okay, and let's make this clear, very clear. Donald Trump's administration, and the government, they are all operating on team white supremacy. Point blank, bottom line. I don't want to hear no black folks out there with the pom-poms talking about some go MAGA go. Nope, because what they're doing is simply furthering the supremacist agenda. Bottom line, we as foundational Black Americans are the only people who identify it and know how it operates. Therefore, we're able to maneuver and stand on our own business and push our line. You want to know why FBA can push our own line and everybody else got to be a travel ban, troll, tether in our chat? It's because they can't control or push their own line. They ain't got no line to push. They get pushed around, okay? Their hairline gets pushed. So therefore, they got to come over here into our spaces. But I want everybody to understand, this is the system of supremacy versus the system of supremacy puppets and minions. Bottom line, point blank, period. That's the way the game goes. Let me ask you this question. Certified salute to the family. Let me ask y'all this. Tell me a war that has ever went on where both sides weren't anti-Black American. Tell me the war. You want to talk about the United States of America versus Vietnam? They both were anti-Black American. Our government here was anti-Black American, and the Vietnamese were anti-Black American. Yes, indeed. You want to talk about the Iraq war? Both sides anti-Black American. The Afghanistan war, both sides anti-Black American. The Korean war, both sides anti-Black American. World War I, World War II, both sides are anti-Black American. You pick the conflict, y'all. I'll go ahead and give you the whole history of Earth, and you can pick a conflict and tell me which side was pro-us. Never. And that's why I tell people the only legitimate war we're ever in is the war against the system of supremacy and anti-Black American racism. That's our war. Our war and all these other battles that these individuals pop up. We get involved in them if it threatens our homeland. But outside of that, there ain't no team for us to pick because we're already on our own team, which is certified foundational Black America. That's who we're about. So when I tell everybody that we're on our own team, then you already understand what it is. And fam, when I tell y'all these people are over there breaking down, beefing and feuding and fighting, that's exactly what's going on. And by the way, when you want to add another war, think about all the tribalism in Africa. None of those sides like us. Fam, do you understand that we are the only people on the planet Earth whenever there is a major global conflict, the one denominator is both sides don't like us? You ever notice that? Both sides of every war that's ever went on is always anti-Black. And then they tell us to pick a side. I don't pick sides of your favorite anti-Black racist. Hell no. And I don't pick sides because I was born on my side, and my side is the only side, and that is being a Black American, a certified Black American. We don't pick teams, family. We understand the way the system moves. And when I tell y'all understanding the way the system moves, let me show y'all some people who don't understand. Do you know more Africans are over there, and they're saying, even though Trump did to Venezuela what he did to Nigeria, they still want Trump to come and save them. Watch.
America is now bombing Venezuela. I repeat, America and Venezuela is at it. So, in June, they bombed Iran. Christmas, they bombed Nigeria. New Year's Eve, they start bombing Venezuela. '26 ain't even started yet. What the hell? Could you at least give us a week in advance? Hey!
See, America threw bomb for Nigeria and then interfere with Venezuela. Are they both the same? No. Here's the clear difference. No bullshit.
Listen what he said, fam. He said, is it the same? No, it's not the same. Yes, it is. Family, look at this Nigerian man. He don't see the parallels between Venezuela and Nigeria, and the situations literally occurred a week apart. They happen a week away from each other, and he out here talking about something. Are they the same? No, they're not the same. Yes, they are the same. It's the same. It's called the system of supremacy taking over your country. How in the world are all of these people who've been colonized not seeing the colonization? This is the same colonizing, fam.
No fluff. First off, Venezuela, was the strike about oil? Well, Trump has said it confidently that they will be running Venezuela, and oil companies in America will be moving to Venezuela, spend billions in their oil. Trump has come out to say it straight up. Go and check it. It's out. Adia Bakune said Venezuela has strong ties with Iran, Cuba, Russia, and China. These are all people America don't like. But what does Venezuela have that America needs? Oil. Charlie, they use oil to the bath.
Stop. And why do you think that China and America want Nigeria? Fam, he's basically saying he believes Nigeria is about Christians. This is what he believes. Fam, you can't teach these people. You can't get through to them, fam. This man truly, genuinely believes that the situation going on over in Nigeria is different than the situation in Venezuela, but yet it's got the same damn criminal behind it. Come on.
Brush their teeth. They take the flush toilet. In the Western Hemisphere, they run oil. They have that shit in abundance. In America, they need that shit. And because of that, they have to move quick so that the people they don't like who have influence there will be like a power play, a chess play. Okay, now Nigeria. Was the strike in Nigeria about oil? No, it wasn't about oil. In fact, the government of Nigeria approved and cooperated with the US. In fact,
the government of Nigeria worked along with America because they playing ball. That's why. This man literally thinks Nigeria got nothing to do with oil. So you think that Trump really loves y'all. And he called y'all S-hole countries. This is nothing to do with anything other than they love us. Just say it. You think it's because they love you. Just say it.
Invited them into this WhatsApp group to be like, bro, we are tired. These ISIS-linked militants in the northwest Nigeria, that is Sokoto state, these people are worrying the fuck out of us. I beg, help us end them. That is how America came into the picture and helped.
There you go, family. So America had to bomb Nigeria because they love Nigeria. Fam, you can't get through to these people. You can't. This is why there ain't no damn conversations and none of that, fam. You can't get through to these individuals. This man literally is thinking that. What you're seeing now is a lot of people doing posturing. Okay, you're going to see, in which I warned everybody on Tuesday. I said, be prepared. You're going to start to hear a lot of confusing things that don't add up, things that aren't in sync and don't compute. That's typically what happens when you're dealing with desperate people. You got to understand, when there's no desperation, the signal is clear and direct. When there's a hell of a lot of desperation like there is now amongst all of these people outside of us, you're going to start to hear every and anything possible. So you have Venezuelans who think they're going to celebrate the overtaking of Venezuela as a means, to not get deported. They still getting deported, y'all. Still getting deported. I just heard today that they're going to amplify the deportations to Latin American countries and send them all back. So Venezuelans, you're not going to celebrate your way out of Donald Trump deporting you. You're not going to throw Maduro under the bus so you can impress Trump. Trump is not impressed by you pulling out the pom-poms and dancing for supremacy. Maduro, let's make this clear. Maduro is getting arrested in a jail cell, and you are going to get arrested and deported back to Venezuela. Because now they're saying, well, we cleaned up Venezuela. Y'all fled Venezuela to get away from Maduro and his oppressive dictator regime. So now you got a good country to go back home to. You can't no longer talk that talk about how bad Venezuela is because of him. So now that he's out the way, you need to go back over there. All the Venezuelans need to go back home. Same with the Nigerians. If Trump is cleaning up your homelands so much, and it ain't about oil, and it ain't about oppressive regimes, then y'all need to all go back home. Because let me tell you what you can't do. You can't say that you're not in your homeland because it's so bad, and then turn around and celebrate now how it's so good. It's so good, you need to be on that plane back home. And guess what? Either way, you're going to be back on that plane, because no matter how much they take over countries, deportation ain't stopping. So it's still going in the same damn process. It's a wrap for them. But if you notice, fam, they've been sweating. They've been very afraid. And they're out there saying things like, oh, it has nothing to do with this. Let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all. I want y'all to look at this. I want y'all to look at this right here, family. What you see on your screen, quite frankly, brothers and sisters, is more indication and more truth about what things are and how things are going over in all of these different countries and the way things are truly operating, okay? You can't lie when it comes to receipts. The Monroe Doctrine, like we said, family, it was created for the Latin American countries to never get out of line. Now, it has been amplified for that goes to everybody. So can't nobody get out of line. Let me show y'all this one right here as well. Here's another receipt for you. For all of them people talking about China and Africa, and it's all one good thing. Relationships between China and Nigeria are all about oil. Now, I just showed you an African guy who said it ain't got nothing to do with oil. This has nothing to do with oil. It's because we need him to save us because we need a buddy. You see what I'm talking about, family? You see what I'm saying? No. Their relationship is absolutely, positively, 100% all about oil. Everybody knows it. And when I tell you it's all about oil and everybody knows it, you can see right then and there, whether they get it or not, that's the truth. Let me give you some more truth, fam. Donald Trump is taking his game over to Europe because he's been giving Europeans a hell of a lot of things. I don't know why it's so hard for people to see through Donald Trump. I see through Donald Trump. I know exactly his supremacist agenda that he's carrying out, okay? Because he represents the right side of supremacy. Joe Biden represented the left side of supremacy. And remember, the only thing that they differ in is tactics. Donald Trump's version of supremacy is more so, we just gonna go do it. Everybody talks about how the liberal has sneaky racism, right? They got this very, very, very covert means of racism, and the very overt means come from the Republicans. Look at it. Donald Trump, he's just saying we taking your stuff, completely right in your face with it, nothing around it. So he's carrying out his version of imperialism to take over the whole damn planet that is off balance so he can get the balance on the scales of America opposed to China and Russia. Africa's the next step in all of this, family. But let me tell you what he's been doing. Donald Trump has been telling a lot of people over in Europe, y'all need to get y'all stuff together because y'all let too many people come into your country. You remember we were talking about a term that they try to hijack from foundational Black Americans, and I warned all of you guys to stay away from the term Heritage American, because Heritage American is the white supremacists trying to hijack and remix foundational Black American. They try to say a foundational white American, a foundational Italian, a foundational German. We chopped all that up because you can't be foundational unless you built. So the people who never built, like the dominant society, they can't use foundational. So we closed the door in their face with that one. So what did they do, y'all? They went back to the drawing board and they came up with a Heritage American. What is a Heritage American? It's now them delineating from all these other people who are of European descent or just anybody who comes in. Well, Donald Trump went to the UN and he gave a speech and he told Europe, y'all got to be careful because if you're not careful, you're going to ruin your what? Your heritage. There's a hell of a lot of supremacist dog whistles being spoken, and you can only hear it and identify it if you were certified foundational Black American. Remember, y'all, when you're born a foundational Black American, you're of the lineage. When you were certified foundational Black American, that means you are from the lineage, but you a damn rider. And that's how we are. Look at this. Donald Trump has a message. Tell me if you don't hear the same exact supremacist play all through this. Watch.
Gadocious way, but it's true. I've been right about everything. And I'm telling you that if you don't get away from the green energy scam, your country is going to fail. And if you don't stop people that you've never seen before, that you have nothing in common with, your country is going to fail. I'm the president of the United States, but I worry about Europe. I love Europe. I love the people of Europe. And I hate to see it being devastated by energy and immigration. This double-tailed monster destroys everything in its wake, and they cannot let that happen any longer. You're doing it because you want to be nice. You want to be politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage.
Whoa! Uh-oh! There go a little Heritage American. At the same time, you got this whole gangster takeover.
To be politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage.
Uh-oh. Question though, is Marco Rubio a part of that heritage? Nope. Is Marco Rubio a part of the people who are being overthrown? Yep. But Marco Rubio is a nice little tether pet. So he's going to sit back and he's going to say, you right now, Trump master. Yep now. True now. You see what we're talking about? Absolutely. The supremacist assembly. Good point. But do you think it's a coincidence that we've been hearing all about this heritage American, and then Donald Trump pops out and he goes to the UN and says, y'all in Europe, watch it because y'all gonna mess up your heritage. All right. They're sending a lot of bring back the dominant society across the world. You're seeing a rescramble for Africa. You're seeing a complete blitz and takeover of Latin America. And you're also seeing this heritage American thing. It all goes side by side and it's all intertwined because it's a system of supremacy. Now, if you ain't a rider, you may not get that. If you a rider, you knew it before they even said it. Y'all want to know why the grassroots always maintains? Is because we see things that others can't see. And when you want to see something that others can't see, you only start off by being real. Realism is what gets you where you are. So that's what's happening. That's what you're seeing. And it all goes into play. And also, family, Donald Trump says a lot of that because Donald Trump is also trying to get everybody to know that these individuals out here who are creating all of these situations and all of these problems, these individuals are going to have to get out the way one way or another. Now we've embarked on a time frame where things done got extremely real. Things done got extremely real in the United States of America and across the world. And we, again, and I will continuously say that because we put in a lot of good work, all of us, we've been saying it forever. Think about other channels and other people you hear. They don't go in depth and they haven't been going in depth as much as we have about what's happening. Just on Friday, I played y'all that clip of that guy and he was saying Africa is literally about to go into one of the worst Africas ever. He said he's not sure if we're going to see the same Africa now, 50 years from now. And it's not going to happen. There's just too many factors at play. The reason why this is getting amplified is because they got to get Africa today. They got to get Africa today. Remember, y'all, this is a 20-year process. All right. Chinese people, or the Chinese invasion of Africa, that started relatively around 2005. You could say about 2000. All right. It's 2026, fam. Now you're talking 26 years of China being embedded in Africa. They didn't come over there because they love them. See, one thing about us that we understand that no one else gets, we understand when people come to anywhere where there's melanated folks, the dominant society doesn't come there to save you or to be your friend. They may tell you that they're there to be your friend. They may tell you they're there to help you. But in reality, FBA knows that's only a front so they can try to thieve off of you. In a lot of cases, just completely annex you. See, we understand that. I want y'all to look at it, what it is. When we're in an FBA space, like right now, we FBA, right? Absolutely. I'm FBA and I'm proud. When we in here and we got all these tether trolls, all these travel ban trolls, all these bum trolls right here. When we right here doing our damn thing, family, and all of these people pop up, do we run them out the paint? Do we start saying these people ain't nothing but vampires? Do we close the door at the juke joint and do we gatekeep? Notice the energy that we have when an outsider tries to invade our space. We got the energy of resistance and fighting back. Look at how the rest of the whole planet Earth treats W outsiders. W outsiders get a red carpet from Africans. W outsiders get a red carpet from Latinos. They get a red carpet from Asians. They get a red carpet from the Middle East. None of that goes on with FBA. Soon as we see anybody from their side come on over to our side, we already know what the intentions are, and then we shut it down. They don't have that type of energy. They got the energy where they want them there. So again, family, all of that is why we are moving the way we're moving, and we're moving so strong because we understand the way it is. These people don't know what is going on because they're so infatuated and obsessed with being a part of the dominant society. And you knew they were going to try to tie us into this, right? Let me tell you something that I caught. And I want everybody to see this. First off, fam, when I tell you that we got trained eyes and we can see everything, that's exactly what I mean. I'm going to show you something that I caught so damn fast with my certified foundational Black American vision that a lot of people didn't see. Look at this right here. This was the news story about the invasion of Venezuela. Donald Trump takes Venezuela. But I'm going to show y'all how you already got these little liberal groups out there and they're trying to tie FBA into this whole fiasco. Watch carefully.
Mandami posted to social media saying he disagrees with the invasion and is monitoring the jailing of Maduro in his city.
Questions, of course, rising now whether Trump did this because of drugs or whether he did this because of oil. Oil was the main reason that the president himself gave today. And of course, he has pardoned drug traffickers in the past rather than continue to prosecute them, while now having Nicolás Maduro in custody. In that video, you got a sneak preview of Union del Barrio, the Community Self-Defense Coalition, and other local organizations.
Right there. Union Barrio, a community self-defense coalition. First off, I want you to notice, do you see how small the Venezuelans who are supporting Venezuela is? And do you see how big the Venezuelans who are supporting the supremacist takeover is? What you see right there, all 5 of those people, those are the people who are on the side of Venezuela. Yep. This right here are all the people who are on the side of the supremacist takeover. So do you see how much these people don't even rock with their own homeland? I digress. Look at this right here, though, brothers and sisters. I'm going to point out something. These are these liberal funded groups. These are the same people that were begging us to go get involved in the ICE raids. The ICE raids, fam. The same way you got a bunch of bum, yeah, I said it, mean it, all day, bum, tether trolls in the chat. That's the same exact way you had these same folks right here trying to get us to put down our reparations and put on the cape for them. But notice something very suspicious.
Hosting a rally today to condemn the president's invasion and takeover. This hands-off Venezuela rally was one of many under the same name across the country today. At the top of their list of demands was that the U.S. free Venezuelan President Maduro. They called Trump's threat of the U.S. controlling Venezuela a, quote, psychological war. The groups also made it known they support the Bolivarian Revolution, the socialist-leaning movement started by Hugo Chavez in 1999.
Okay, so these are a bunch of liberal activists. But notice this right here in the back, y'all. You're going to see very clear.
Over this hands-off Venezuela rally was one of many under the same name across the country today. At the top of their list of demands was that the U.S. free.
Right there. Look at the guy in the far back, y'all, with the afro. Look at the guy in the far back. You see him right there, family? You see that guy in the far back? Black Alpha's about to connect the dots to show you that this organization, as well as all these other ones, are people who are trying to get foundational Black Americans involved. Remember, y'all, they homelands are getting bombed, and they're in our chat right now trying to troll us. Don't ever get it twisted who these people are. You see Mr. Romero Benavides Rodriguez in the back right there? Okay. Watch this. Found him real quick. Yeah, real quick, family. There you go. One more time. Look at it. Hair all over the place. Got the whole Garcia mustache. Glasses. Yep. There you go. Watch this right here and how he starts bringing up the Black Messiah, Fred Hampton, and the Black Panther Party. We ain't getting involved because we ain't got no capes, Julio.
And we all live totally different lives, and we have a lot of shit on our plate, especially thanks to capitalism and shit, and patriarchy and whatnot. But please, and I am speaking to my Black and my brown brothers and sisters at arms.
Nope.
If you are aware of the Black Panther Party, what happened to them, what their purpose was, and why the 3-letter organizations in this country could not let those purposes be fulfilled. The programs that were set in place to, and I quote, dismantle the Black Panther Party and to prevent the rise of a Black Messiah. The same thing goes for my Latinos in the brown berets.
What? What that got to do with us? You seen that? What this got to do with us, fam? I told y'all. I said it, fam. You knew it. It's the same way, fam. We started this show. They started pulling up in our chat quick, didn't they? As soon as we pulled up, same dude, family. Only difference is he ain't got the glasses. Look at that. Boom. Look at that. Boom. You already see, fam. Next thing you know, you're talking about the Black Messiah, the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. They ain't got nothing to do with Venezuela. No, y'all celebrating. Go have fun. Get your pom-poms out.
The same thing goes for my Latinos in the brown berets. For my Latinos in the brown berets. Fred Hampton, why did he have to meet his demise the way that he did? Michael Jackson, why did he have to meet his demise the way that he did?
Michael Jackson? Boy, they'll pull out any damn body to tie it in the FBA. They'll sit there and say, Luther Vandross, Bobby Brown, New Edition. Why did New Edition's album not come out? Is it because Donald Trump? Is it because the supremacists didn't want to see that Jackson 5 reunion? This man is pulling out any damn thing. Did he just pull out Michael Jackson? Did he tie Michael Jackson in? If y'all don't leave Mike alone, if you don't leave Michael Jackson alone, we ain't helping you. You ain't going to try to bring up Michael Jackson and Fred Hampton. He went from Fred Hampton to Michael Jackson, trying to get Black Americans involved. Hell no.
In the Brown Berets. Fred Hampton, why did he have to meet his demise the way that he did? Michael Jackson, why did he have to meet his demise the way that he did? Muammar Gaddafi, remember?
Oh, bringing up Gaddafi. Now watch, fam. He's going to start talking about ICE agents.
From the ICE situation and how some of those ICE agents are former what? Former what soldiers? Because as we have seen from the ICE situation and how some of those ICE agents are former what? Former what soldiers? From where? Injustice.
There you go, fam. There you go. Same game, same thing. You already see it. You know it. Boy, they pulled that out, didn't they? They said, what about who? What about when? What about the black folk? What about them? Everything to try to turn us in. Actually, could have been reading as well. Could have been reading. That, they always got their little script. You know what I'm saying? Always got their script. Somebody say they don't think that's him. I think it is him. Okay, I think it is. And if you don't think that's him, then I don't see the main difference enough to say it ain't him. I see he got this, same mustache, glasses, same afro. That look good enough for me talking that same talk. You feel me? If it ain't him, it ain't enough for me to say it ain't. I'll tell you that damn much. It looks like it's him to me. Bottom line, fam, straight up and down. I mean, you got this under there, this right there, hair blew out, mustache going like this, looking like a damn El Matador. Okay, well, unless there's 15 El Matadors running around here talking about getting Michael Jackson and Rick James involved, then hey, I don't know. But it ain't enough for me to say that ain't him. Shit. All right, it's gonna be him until further notice. I know that damn much. And let me tell you what else it is until further notice. It's until further notice of foundational Black Americans doing the same exact thing that we said we was going to do, and foundational Black Americans is going to stand over here. That's the thing. Yeah, you got damn El Barrio out here. They want to get Aretha Franklin involved. They want to get Aretha Franklin out there. They're like, what about Aretha now? We can't leave out Aretha. Yeah, that's him. Hell yeah, that's him. Yeah, Toro. They want Warren G in here. They just want everybody. They said, what about the Dog Pound? What about Dan Dillinger? You know what I'm saying? They know what it is, fam. They know what it is. And the problem is that we know what it is. You dig? And by the way, fam, you could show somebody. I mean, it could be a W woman. Her nose could be this big. She could have Mayo written right here. And then you could show somebody else, all right, with the same nose out here with Mayo right here. She got on a green blouse, and this one got on a blue blouse. Somebody going to be like, I don't think that's the same blouse. Why? They sell that one at Walmart. She got that other one from Burlington Coat Factory. Stop with all the goddamn psychopathic flip-flopping, okay? Same game. And when you deal with supremacists, you've seen one, you've seen them all. Check this out, fam. This is what I'm talking about. These individuals know exactly what it is, and they see exactly how it's going down, and the capes ain't coming out. Again, check this out, family. Donald Trump telling everybody what's going to happen. Look at Rubio, got his head down. Rubio ain't looking. But watch Trump again telling everybody what he's about to do.
Global power. And we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels. And we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America. But I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States. This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American lives. Very importantly, the embargo on all Venezuelan oil remains in full effect. The American armada remains poised in position, and the United States retains all military options until United States demands have been fully met and fully satisfied. All political and military figures in Venezuela should understand what happened to Maduro can happen to them, and it will happen to them if they aren't just fair.
What will happen to you if you don't play ball is what I heard. There's a great book out there. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the book. If you get the opportunity to check it out, let me see if I get the name right. I think it's called A Diary of an International Hitman. Okay, I don't know if that's the exact name, but that book basically tells you the way the world functions and how it operates. It's simple as this: the person with the gold makes the rule. That's the golden rule. America goes around and tells people, you're going to do what we tell you to do. And if you don't do what we tell you to do, then quite frankly, we're just going to annex you and put in somebody who's going to do it. America's been doing that for the longest amount of time. And that has always went on. So when people start talking about the morals and the ethics, see, one thing about FBA, fam, we don't fall for all that's not morally right. That's not ethically clear. See, we understand this ain't a game of fairness. Okay, economic hitman. There you go. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Economic hitman. Fam, everybody, go check that book out. And then what that really is a military doctrine of the system of white supremacy. Okay, that's how they operate in an economic hitman aspect. That is one of the most telltale signs of supremacy. To be honest with you, a lot of people talk about that book, but you got to really read and understand the system of supremacy through that book, because you'll see how they play the game. They'll go over to Iraq. They say, hey, listen, Saddam, do what we tell you to do or you gone. And what happened? He didn't do what they said. Boom, gone, out of there, put in a new person. They did the same exact thing in Egypt. They did the same exact thing in Iran. Right now, Iran is an enemy of a foundational Black American simply because the Iranian people are anti-Black American themselves. However, Iran is also an enemy of the United States of America because once upon a time, America was friends with them. This is why America always has relationships where who we beefing with now, we were cool with before. Who we cool with now, who's beefing with. It's always been that way because that's just how America always operates, and we replace people to put them in position to change and make whatever our agenda is come to light. Back in the day, Iran was good friends with the United States of America. We had nothing but fun. We loved the Shah in Iran, okay? But the Iranian people overthrew him, and then Iranian people put in the Ayatollah. And then ever since then, America's not been cool with Iran. America was cool with Saddam Hussein. Yep. And then they flipped on Saddam Hussein and ended up beefing with him. Same thing with Jose Mubarak in Egypt. Jose Mubarak during the Arab Spring, if people remember that, the so-called Arab Spring, which basically was what's going on in Venezuela, the Iranian people had their little situation going on with their protests against the Iranian government, but simultaneously Egypt was going against Jose Mubarak. Jose Mubarak was a card-carrying member of America government assets. Jose Mubarak was put in place by America. What happened? The Egyptian people rise up. They got rid of Jose Mubarak. And then the new person that came into power, he was a dictator. And then since he was the damn dictator, the Egyptians started celebrating. And then they went back to Jose Mubarak. And Jose Mubarak never went in jail. Let me tell you this. There's a saying I say. I hate to say this, but it is what it is. A lot of these people need dictators. Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Thank you. Thank you. Great one. Y'all check that out. But a lot of these people need dictators, family. That's just what it is, fam. They love dictators. How many times y'all seen it? There's a dictator, they overthrow him and celebrate. And then the new guy comes in, and then they got a problem with him, and he oppresses them for 30 years. And then they overthrow him and celebrate. And then there's another new guy, and they celebrate him, and then he becomes a dictator. These people from these homelands that are in ruins, they need dictators. There's this notion that these people from these homelands, they do better when they have like a functioning government. Every functioning government that a lot of times people try to put in play, there's always corruption that ends up bringing it down. In a lot of cases, the damn dictator's better. Go to Iraq, family. Iraq was damn near better under a dictator. What happened when the dictator is gone? Complete anarchy goes on. Same with Libya. When Gaddafi was president in Libya, you had people that got free tuition, people that got free food. People were quite frankly taken care of. Soon as they got rid of Gaddafi, all of the warlords took over, who America in a lot of cases put into position, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton. Next thing you know, they just started rounding up Black Africans, and they still doing it now. Hell, they started enslaving them again. You feel me? So a lot of these individuals, they need dictators. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to be like, no, that ain't the case. Nah, because this is what's been proven, because these people don't understand, and I mean this, these people truly do not understand what it's like to have a functioning society or a functioning community that goes on. But let me tell you the main thing that we talk about. What's been going on, I want everybody to know this. When you start talking about China, China does not give people a position or an option. When we talk about China building up Africa, they're building up Africa by giving them loans, okay? They don't care about the money coming back. They don't give people loans for money. China has been playing chess for a long time. I'm going to give y'all the geopolitical breakdown that you ain't going to hear anywhere else better than this. Right here, Black Alpha. China gives people loans. They go around and they say, I'll build this for you. I'll build that for you. I'll build that, and for you. But in return, I need you to do me a favor. And it ain't money. Their exchange is I build for you and you give me oil on discounted prices. This is what's been going on in Africa. When China's over there in Africa, which we talk about all the time, because you're going to hear a lot of people say, well, China's in Africa. Then I'm always going to say, well, give me the nuances, the variables, and the details of what they're doing over there. And then when you look at those, you come to find out they'll build a road, they'll build a bridge, they'll build a hospital. But in return, Iraq is sitting over there on the side. Iran is sitting over there on the side. But they went into Nigeria instead. Why? It's because those other people have an occupation from the Western world. Nigeria right now is an opportunity for them to go in and get it on their own. It's the same exact thing in Venezuela. Get it on your own. So ain't nobody really having that type of game plan and ain't nobody really rolling on that side of the fence. However, I proceed. Now Africa or Nigeria, they have to pay back China in oil. It's the same exact thing that went on in Venezuela. They've been down there in Venezuela. Do you know Venezuela is billions of dollars in debt to China? China did not amass that debt with the expectation that Venezuela was going to pay them back in money. No, they were going to pay them back through oil exchange, oil deals. Those oil deals were going to be how they got their currency up. So America right now goes in, takes over the oil reserves. That debt that China has, how is it going to get paid? This is how people start going to war. This is how confrontations escalate. How are you going to go further than that, family? How you going to go any further? Somebody got to pay that debt back that China has amassed from Venezuela. You're talking about billions of dollars that Venezuela is in debt. And they was getting that good oil price. Now that oil price is from America. Did y'all notice one thing Donald Trump said? Donald Trump said, we're taking over the oil in Venezuela and we still going to sell it to China. Let me tell you what they just did to China. They really BITCH China. They basically said, oh, yeah. You were getting that oil directly from your buddy Venezuela. Now we own the oil and we'll still sell it to you. Now America has positioned themselves to be a primary oil seller to China, where China was getting their oil directly from Venezuela to compensate the $1 billion debt that Venezuela had with them. China woke up to a whole different situation. One day you're up and you are getting cheap breakdown prices of oil from Venezuela. Now America owns that oil. And not only are you going to have to pay America to get the oil, you ain't getting them discounted prices. And then the money that you're spending is going in America's pocket. Don't be surprised, family, if this ends up gold and silver too. Absolutely. Don't be surprised, family, if this same thing gets replicated in Nigeria, or this is going to make these people have to rush into Africa even more. See, let me tell you something. In Latin America, that's America's backyard. That's the Monroe Doctrine. China ain't really got a choice. They don't really have too much of an option in Venezuela or anywhere in Mesoamerica. However, in Africa, that ain't in America's backyard. So I believe that this situation is going to make the African situation even more inflamed. China's going to say, oh, word, you're going to do that to us in your backyard. I get it. That's your playground. Now let me see if you're going to pull that over here to us in Africa, because that ain't your playground. So you're going to start to see more conflict, more posturing as if there wasn't enough already go on in Africa, and the ramifications and the domino effect and the aftershock of what just went on with Nicolas Maduro being arrested, the oil reserves being snatched in Venezuela is going to be felt all the way over in Africa. Told you won't hear it anywhere else better than that. And let me tell y'all what Donald Trump is straight up saying. He tells them, we coming for your oil and we're just going to take it over and start slanging it. This is some gangster stuff. Watch.
But in terms of other countries that want oil, we're in the oil business. We're going to sell it to them. We're not going to say we're not going to give it to them.
Damn.
In other words, we'll be selling oil probably in much larger doses because they couldn't produce very much because their infrastructure was so bad. So we'll be selling large amounts of oil to other countries, many of whom are using it now, but I would say many more will come. But in terms of other countries that want oil, we're in the oil business. We're going to sell it to them. We're not going to say we're not going to give it to them. In other words, we'll be selling oil probably in much larger doses because they couldn't produce very much because their infrastructure was so bad. So we'll be selling large amounts of oil to other countries, many of whom are using it now, but I would say many more will come.
Woo! That is extremely significant. What do you say? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, he basically told China, hurry up and buy. You buy, you go. It ain't too good when you getting told you buy, you go, huh? Yeah. See, this is why we don't have no sympathy for anybody, because we understand the way they've been viewing us, so they just got to deal with it. See, let me say this. This is amazing time to be alive because you're seeing so much posturing, y'all. I mean, crazy posturing. Let me make this clear. When you talk about the largest known oil reserves in the world are in America's backyard, that oil gonna belong to America one way or another, by hook or by crook, okay? And in this case, by an overthrow and a takeover and arresting your president. I don't know how anybody thinks that you're going to have the largest oil reserves on the planet Earth and China is going to be getting it, but yet it's in America's neighborhood. That ain't the way that the geopolitical structure operates. Hell no. In the Confessions of an Economic Hitman, which is the book that I was just referencing, it breaks all of that down. Fam, this isn't a shocker or a surprise. You ever notice this as well? You notice everybody else is always surprised or everyone else is always shocked, but FBA is never shocked nor surprised. You ever notice that, fam? You ever notice that Africans be like, oh my God, I can't believe what happened. You see the Venezuelans, oh my God, I don't know what just went on. White folks, I can't believe this. Black Americans ain't never on that because we know the system and the harsh realities of the system because we always had to deal with it. The person who feels it more knows it more. We done felt it more, so we know it more. So therefore, we call it out. And we the strongest people, and it don't bother us. See, it bothers them where they start bucking their eyes and sweating, and they get nervous because they all got to deal with it because they ain't got the strength to handle it. Foundational Black Americans, we've been handling this our whole life. And so did our parents and their grandparents. We got a lineage that's been handling these folks. We've been the ones putting up them damn hands and throwing them hands. So no, nothing shocks or surprises us. We all for it. We all for it. And this is why this situation ain't really moving us. Notice that all these situations that occurred when the Iran and Israel situation popped off, when Donald Trump bombed Iran, when that happened, with the Nigeria bombing, with this overtaking of Venezuela, notice everybody in the world is nervous, uncertain, and shook. Over here, FBA, cool, calm, and collected. Business as usual. We're the only ones who are on our square. We the only ones who ain't upset, hiding. We don't give a damn. We woke up focused on money before the bombing. After the bombing, we focused on money because nothing bothers us because we that strong and we that certified. And then you start talking about how certified, family, how real we are and how everybody's jealous of that. I want you to see and pinpoint the accuracy of what we've been saying. So, family, you have the Nigeria situation, and then you have the Venezuela situation. What's going to end up happening next, I'm telling you now, is that's going to slide over to Nigeria. That's going to be the next step. The next step. Right now, they have a hit list, okay? The diary of an economic, or the confession of an economic hitman. They have a hit list. The next one is going to be in Nigeria, and then you're going to start seeing that posturing there. But let me say this. America now has access to the world's largest oil reserves. Man, what the hell is popping? But do you know, right before all of this happened, China sent over some of their delegates to talk to Nicolas Maduro. Look at this right here, family. Right there. The Chinese people were in Venezuela 48 hours previous to this situation. Yep, they were there, right there. They knew what was about to come down, and they were basically saying, hey, we can't help you. That's what this was. There's a lot of people debating how China was there. Did China know what was happening? China was there to basically say, Maduro, you're on your own. It was fun while it lasted, but we can't do nothing for you. We can't help you at all. And they were over there shaking hands and doing all this. And then China came out with this. China condemns U.S. strike in Venezuela hours after diplomats met with Maduro. So if the diplomats met with Maduro right then and there, had a nice little conversation, talked about it, and then right afterwards, America pulled up, that let you know America was going to do what the hell America wanted to do anyway, because China understands you can't do nothing in our backyard. This is why this situation, brothers and sisters, is becoming very, very interesting, is because China knows they can't do nothing in our backyard, but they got to do something. So if you can't deal with us in our neighborhood, but yet there's another conflict going on in Africa, why don't you just take that same energy and go on over there? Because that's what I believe is going to happen. A lot of precedents have been set today. There's a lot of them. The number one precedence that was set was China. We done took the oil from Venezuela. You got to come through us to get it now. We got a lot of money. Another one that was set was all y'all Latin people out there, Greenland as well, all of y'all, you going to play ball or we going to do the same thing to you. And then another one was sent over to Africa and says, we still got our sights on y'all as well because y'all not playing ball with America. Family, there were three major factors that occurred in our world that happened within the last 24 hours that will have ramifications that go on for the next 100 years and beyond. And you see it all being played out live in living color, live for everyone to see. You just got to be a certified to be able to see through the BS. We do. That's what's going on. And how do you know this is happening? Over in Africa, you see them sweating as well. Watch this, family. The pieces are being put together and everyone is watching it straight up and down. Nigeria and Venezuela. Watch how people are already connecting the dots.
Nigeria and Venezuela, countries on different continents, but yet we're about to get involved heavily in both. Let's talk about it. Nigeria is Africa's largest oil producer, and now the U.S. is threatening military action over religious violence. But at the exact same time, Nigeria is beginning to explore the United States dollar. Connect the dots. Oil nation plus currency changes and shifts equal pressure. Now let's look at Venezuela. Trump recently said that the airspace should be closed. That is a massive escalation. It's being framed as protecting national security. But again, Venezuela is one of the world's largest producers of oil. And who do they sell their oil to? China, Russia, Iran, not our allies. And when you throw in everything right now that's going on in the Caribbean Sea and closing down the airspace, it's likely strikes are going to start very soon.
Whoa, damn. Did you hear that right there, family? Let me tell you something that happened that a lot of people missed as well. While all of this ended up going on, do you know that they ended up closing down a lot of the Caribbean airspace? The Caribbean airspace basically had a flight restriction, straight up and down. Caribbean airspace had flight restrictions where they said, nope, hell no. Ain't nobody gonna be flying over the Caribbean. So those effects were even felt in the Caribbean as well. They even felt the effects. So that right there, what she was saying is 100% true. And what you're going to end up seeing now is a escalation in Africa, because that's really the only place where they can play this game at. You can't play this in America. The Monroe Doctrine, a policy family, you'll F around and go to war trying to pull up on our neighbors. Ain't nobody from a foreign country that is not cool with America going to be in bed with a Latin American country. Latin America has a choice in the decision. What side are you on? That's what it is. Because you ain't going to be in my backyard and you're going to be cool with my biggest enemy. That's just not how it works. Nope. So now you're starting to see that escalation pop up a hell of a lot more than what it already was. And it's making them very, very nervous and petrified. But when I tell y'all people are nervous and petrified, that is only half the story. Let me show y'all this right here, if I can pull you up. Dude was talking so damn crazy, family. And he ain't really been talking like that now. But he was talking reckless just yesterday, the day before, and finally, family, they came out to get him. This is what happens when you talk that talk. This is what happens when you think you something serious, but you really ain't. You really ain't. You ain't nothing but just another person who thought that he was going to play the game to win, but you find out you're playing the game to lose. Let me show y'all what Maduro was saying. Maduro was talking reckless. Maduro told Donald Trump, come and get him. Yep, absolutely. FBA in the building. Check this out, family. Maduro got told, and he tried to tail back. Look at this. Donald Trump reposted this, family, and this was Maduro saying, come and get me. Watch.
Por mí. Aquí lo espero en Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar, cobarde. Venga por mí. Aquí lo espero en Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar, cobarde. Venga por mí. Aquí lo esperan Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar. ¡Cobarde! Por mí.
Come for me.
Aquí lo esperan Miraflores.
I'm waiting for you here.
No se tarde en llegar.
Don't take too long to arrive, coward. That didn't age well. How you go from that to this right here? How you go from that to that right there? Hell no. Come for me. Don't take too long, coward. I will see you. I will greet you. Come now. Yeah, they came all right. Uh-huh. They came and they stole. They done took your whole. How in the hell do you go from that to that? How in the hell does somebody pull up, snatch your work? They done robbed you for your work. They done ran off on the plug. Damn. But hey, they was asking for it, family. So you shall ask, you shall receive. And that's exactly what he ended up getting. He received it. And Donald Trump's been going around, making his rounds, talking reckless. Donald Trump was on Fox News, and he just basically broke down what's happening and how it's going to go. You feel me? This is how everything is operating. So when you see these individuals, just know for certain, y'all, it ain't too good in the hood. Look at this. Let me show y'all this right here. Donald Trump called in, and he said we had to go there, and we had to shut the doors. And he says that Maduro was cowering, and he was hiding. So all that talk didn't really get off the ground. Watch this.
He was in a very highly guarded, like a fortress, actually. He was in a fortress. You know, that we had nobody killed was amazing. I think we had nobody killed, I have to say, because a couple of guys were hit, but they came back and they're supposed to be in pretty good shape. But that we had nobody killed, that we lost no aircraft. You know, everything came back. We got it all back. One of them was hit pretty hard, but a helicopter, but we got it back. But it just was the right time to do it. We had to do it because it's a war. We're losing 300,000 people a year. We don't lose that much in a war, okay, if you look. And we had to do it. But he was in a house that was more like a fortress than a house. It had steel doors. It had what they call a safety space where it's, you know, solid steel all around. He didn't get that space closed. He was trying to get into it, but he got bum rushed so fast that he didn't get into that. We were prepared. We had, you know, massive blowtorches and everything else that you need to get through that steel, but we didn't need it. He didn't make it to that area of the house.
Damn, he didn't even make it. Hey, he said he didn't even make it there. All that talk was gone. That's what it is, fam, because it is what it is. Harsh realities are starting to set in, and those harsh realities are telling everybody this ain't a game for being fair. This ain't a game for being nice. This is a game of rules, okay? And everybody's out here playing chess, and if you ain't playing chess, then you ain't gonna be winning. Absolutely. Yep. Just like Saddam was in a hole. And they found Gaddafi. He was hiding. These dictators don't have power. You're outgunned and outmanned by the United States of America. There's only about 3 or 4 people who really bought it, okay? Countries, and America's at the top. So when you start dealing with that, this is what you get. And let me say this as well. Foundational Black Americans, we take the position of we look out for ourselves and we don't get involved in anyone else. The only time we do get involved is when there's a threat to the homeland. Because if you don't take care of America, there will be no Black America to be holding it down. So that's why our great ancestors in the past, they always said, we're going to focus on self. We're going to build for self within these borders. Now, when this person started talking about coming to America, now we got a problem. See, y'all remember the day, let me ask y'all, how many of y'all remember the day when there was a lot of Black folks who used to be like, how dare you fight for this damn country? How dare you stand up for America? That flag oppresses you. You ain't no damn American. How many of y'all remember that scam African that yelling at Black folks talk? Y'all remember that? That used to be the thing back in the day. And it was very disrespectful to our foundational Black American icons, okay? You can start talking about who? You want to talk about the Harlem Hellfighters, the original Black Panther Party. Where you want to go? You want to go talk about Geronimo Pratt, military, Bobby Seale, military, Neely Fuller, military. Where you want to go, family? We were out here standing on business for what? For ourselves, Okay. Inside of America, we handle all the supremacists. We check them. But when somebody threatens the homeland, you got to understand, if there ain't no America, there ain't no Black Americans, because there's no USA without FBA. So it was only necessary that foundational Black Americans all stood up and defended this country for our own purposes and for our own reasons. So all the people that used to talk all that talk about, how dare you in this damn country? Do you understand what that would do? Didn't I tell y'all a lot of that Pan-Africanism is designed to walk us off of a cliff? Didn't I tell y'all that? So by that logic, that why would we defend this homeland? That's like saying, why would you defend your house from a home invader? Basically is what it is. If you're renting and you are renting an apartment, and in this apartment that you're renting, someone tries to invade it and break in and harm you, do you not defend yourself because you paying rent? Do you not defend yourself because you're somebody who is defending not only the area, but you're defending your own? Do you just sit back with your hands up? Hell no, you don't. So this is what I'm saying, family. We have always stood on business for ourselves in America because we are American, and it goes simultaneous side by side. And anybody trying to tell you different or walk you in a different direction, that ain't nothing more than just an op trying to play you. And we ain't to be played because we some full-timers. So that's the difference between us and everybody else. Let me show y'all this as well when we talk about these folks. As I told you before, China has been dishing out all of these loans, okay? And the loans are not to be paid back with money. The loans are to be paid back with oil. So America is simply going to places that are in debt to China, and we're inserting ourselves so we can get back a lot of that finance and we can shut them down. So now every corner they turn, they got to go to us. It's political posturing. And these people are out here right now so upset, so hurt, so broke down and battered. And it's because of this. Don't let these liberals come around, y'all, and start talking about fascism and all these terms. We got our own interests and our own agenda as Black Americans. Watch this.
Just announced that the United States will run the government of Venezuela until further notice. He also said that American oil companies will be coming into the country to take over Venezuela's oil industry.
I'm sorry. Do we live in a parallel reality now? The president says that the U.S. is going to run Venezuela. This is not a bakery. This is a country with territorial sovereignty.
He complained that Venezuela isn't pumping enough oil, and it would be better managed by United States-based oil companies. So he's going to allow them to come in, take over the infrastructure, and run oil for Venezuela forever.
So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. We're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place.
Have we just abandoned the principles of international law, federal law, constitutional principles, congressional oversights? Those are gone now. Forget about the fact that we sent our troops into another country, violating every basic concept of foreign sovereignty without the authorization of Congress, but by simple diktat of the President of the United States. Forget about the fact that we have captured, we'll say that, the president of that country, a sitting president, and forget about the fact that we removed that president from the country, all without congressional approval. But now the president is saying that we, the United States, are just going to run another country.
I mean, what's new about that? What's new about, fam? Ain't nothing new about that. Why are they trying to make it look like that's a new thing? That's not a new thing. America's been doing that. What do you call Iraq? What do you call Afghanistan and Pakistan? What do you call Latin America? So, fam, don't allow these people to come around and hit you with the, we gonna do this. How can we do this? This is wrong. And notice, y'all, they don't never have any type of heart or morals when it comes to the system of supremacy that oppresses Black Americans. If you start talking about the system of supremacy and how it oppresses foundational Black Americans, you don't hear nobody start talking about laws. You ever notice that they always want to institute a law when it's beneficial to somebody other than Black folks? You ever notice that, fam? They want to start talking about immigration laws because that don't apply to us because we ain't immigrants. They want to start talking about constitutional laws in Congress whenever it's some war stuff so they can feed these other countries. But you ain't never got that type of stuff for us. If you want to see laws that are being broken, you want to see oppression, then you could always look at the condition of us because they've always been trying to do that to Black Americans. But I ain't seen nobody step up and say, that's a bad thing. We need to go ahead and shut that down. You ain't seen that. Nope. What you've seen in return, though, is every time it's somebody else, a foreign situation, they come and they try to say, well, black folks, black folks, black folks. Hell no. That's y'all situation that y'all got to deal with, and we ain't going for it. And then let me tell you this as well. Donald Trump has already came out and he started telling the new people out there that they're going to play ball in the Venezuela area, that they're going to play ball or they're done. And you know what? That's a great thing. Couldn't be better. Couldn't happen to anyone other than them. Check this out as well, fam. Let me show y'all. This is what happens when you ain't playing the game. And if the game ain't being played right, they're going to see about you. Check this out, brothers and sisters. This is what we mean right here. Look at dude talking all that talk, but now look at him.
Excuse me. Sorry.
They paraded him around. Ain't they parading him around, fam? They making it clear. They're like, we're going to show his face everywhere. We're going to show his face everywhere you turn up. They making it clear. By the way, don't all these damn, hold on. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just, I don't know. I'm just being real. Fam, have y'all noticed like all these foreign dictators, they all damn near look like Saddam Hussein? Am I wrong? Fam, don't they all look like Saddam? They all look like either Saddam or Castro. Every foreign dictator, there's like a foreign dictator look, and they all look the same. Look at that, fam. They look just like damn Saddam. Fam, it'd be like, check out this dictator from Pakistan. He be looking like Saddam. Look at this one from Venezuela. He look like Saddam. All these folks look alike to me. I'm just being honest. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But these folks out here, they pretty much out here looking just like Saddam Hussein, fam. Every dictator I've seen since I was a kid, they always got that mustache. They got that hair. Every last one of them always look like Saddam to me. Maybe I'm just tripping, but damn, keep it real. They all look like Saddam or some type of remixed version of Saddam Hussein. That's just how the damn dictators look. It's like the builder dictator. That's what it is. You got to give him the mustache. Who the hell wear a mustache? That man still running around here with a damn mustache, family. He looks straight up like Saddam in 1985. Hell no. But that shows you again, fam, they parading these people around. And as they get paraded around, they should get paraded around. You should, because that just shows you that these people are now getting a harsh sense of reality. Watch.
Wish you a happy New Year's.
Good night. Good night. Happy New Year.
What happened to the Nike Tech? Did they strip him of the Nike Tech? This guy was quite entertaining, but sometimes you got to put your entertainment to the back burner because the people of Venezuela did not want him. They're out here celebrating in the streets of Miami.
Look at them celebrating. Look at them celebrating, family. That's a good one. I see you in the chat. Yep. You said they taking him on tour. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. They taking him on a straight tour, ain't they? A dictator tour, because this is setting the precedence, fam. There's so many things. You know, one thing we always talking about over here on the Black Alpha Network, fam, we always are highlighting the nuances. Anybody can tell you surface level stuff, okay? Surface level stuff is cool. You got to understand that. But the roots is what you really understand. And the roots of the situation is they're showing this man around to everybody so everybody sees him and everybody knows exactly what will happen next if they disobey. If you disobey and you don't play, you're going to have to deal with the government of the USA. And they coming over there with no jurisdiction doing whatever. See, FBA, we understand that anywhere you see white supremacy, whether that be in the government, whether that be in the economic world, the social world, you're dealing with these male gangsters. And they don't play by rules. So when you run around here and you try to apply rules to these people, you already are gone. This is why we got rid of all those other people, because they still have some type of emotion in their heart. They want to play by rules with these people. Ain't no rules to play by with these folks. And this is why we've taken the position of sitting things out. And when I tell you we sit things out, look at this right here, family. This right here are all the Venezuelans who've been fleeing from Venezuela. That right there, family, they've been fleeing from Venezuela for a long time. And look how many people from Venezuela are all spread out amongst the world. Look at the number right there in the United States, family. Look at them. These people been fleeing Venezuela for a long time. So now is the time that they can go back to Venezuela because everything that they said was wrong is gone. So if it's wrong and gone, then you need to go back home. This is what we talk about being the international open borders community, which allows all of these folks to just show up, come on in and do your thing. So now these people can go back home and they can help their homeland get resurrected, have the same problems that you said you had. All of those problems are gone. So now you needs to be gone. How about that one? But family, you know they don't know no better because they still out there celebrating. Did y'all see, family, they had a damn Venezuelan Donald Trump. Family, this is what I mean when I say they celebrating. They got a Venezuelan Donald Trump in the streets dancing. He got a purse on. This is what you call being colonized. And this is why we don't rock with these other people. Watch this. Look at this right here, family. You see that? This man is doing the damn Donald Trump. They got a Venezuelan Donald Trump, y'all. Look at this man. He got a purse and everything. And they out there happy. They out there celebrating. Look at this. These people are out there having a great damn time, holly jolly all damn day. Dancing in the street, just living it up. They out there having a damn YMCA. Look at this dude. Look at this, man. I guess they said if they can't be a W, they'll just create one. They'll just create a W. I guess that's what they're trying to say. I don't know. Okay, this is what we be calling out, though, fam. You see what we saying? These individuals are out here deep. And what's the main thing they doing? They out here mimicking him. He got a purse on. This is them. I'm telling y'all. This is them trying not to get deported. This is them saying, hey, now, I mean, don't deport me now. If I dance for you, then can I stay? This is Venezuela bucking. Uh-huh. You see what it is, family. You see what it is. Folks out there dancing. Look at it. Damn. That right there, family, is their Venezuelan Donald Trump. So they feel that they can save themselves and not get deported, but deportation is going to happen regardless for you. You can't beat delineation, and you damn sure can't beat deportation. Both of those is going to get you across the board. But this is what I'm talking about, brothers and sisters. When I tell you that Certified Foundational Black Americans, okay, FBA, standing on certified business 100%, we are making the proper moves, and we're doing it in the proper way. I want you to see everything that's happening right now and just let that reinforce the decisions that we have previously made, that we're going to be independent, isolated, and stand on our own business, because all of these problems have one denominator. Ain't got a damn thing to do with FBA. Until you cross that FBA line, everything is fine, okay? But when you don't, we're going to set this off, and that's what'll happen. So now they can see it, family, and FBA doing it. And by the way, boy, they lame as hell. Y'all still trolling? How the hell you still trolling? Go ahead, listen. You probably got about 20 minutes before that damn U.S. flight flies over you and starts dropping them things on top of your head, okay? I know you're trolling in the chat. I know we got these damn tethered trolls in the chat. Somebody said funny, bunny, or Muppets. Lame. Someone said Section 8 Queens. Lame. I thought you was better than that. Come on now. You had all of 2025 to get your trolling right. All right? You had the whole time, and that's the best you can come up with. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. This is, fam, I done seen some lame trolls before. I done seen some lame trolls. These got to be the lamest trolls I've ever seen. Shout out to the mods. FBA block game is strong. Y'all been blocking them up. Where I'm from, I don't even say blocking. Y'all be giving them this right here. You know what I'm saying? You know that backhand? Whop. That's what y'all doing. All right, somebody come up with a lame troll. Whop. Come up with another one. Whop. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do things, fam. You know what it is. They know what it is. You're out here getting snatched up. They flying over you. They dropping things on you. They pillaging your homeland, and you in here talking about us. Just don't get it. Fam, you got to love being number one. You got to love being number one. And I'm going to tell you the best part about being number one. You have a lifetime of people that will give you a lifetime's worth of ammunition to roast them. We ain't got to look for nothing to roast. We ain't got to look for nobody to clown. We ain't got to look for nobody to point to and say, that's a bum, because they provide them. See, being number one, being a foundational Black American, standing on certified business, and being the main characters, that gives you a hell of a lot of people that you can give that to. That gives you a hell of a lot of people that you can roast. That gives you a hell of a lot of people that you can embarrass. And that's what we do for a lifetime. So keep sending them. FBA keep slapping them, and FBA keep winning, and they'll keep watching. Well, you know, until Donald Trump flies over their neighborhood and blows their village into smithereens. But don't blame me. Ain't got nothing to do with FBA. We just over here being certified and excellent. That part. So, family, this is what I mean when I tell y'all that we number one and we the greatest of all time. That right there. The Gulf of America, we called that. We said Donald Trump was going to go down the line. We said he was going to start putting people in places. There you go. That happened. We said these folks was going to be out there in the streets. These folks was going to be crying because they think they're a part of the dark white community. Yep. But then we also told them this right here. Your leaders, your dictators are all going to get snatched up, all going to go to jail, and all are going to fail. Yep, that's exactly what the hell we did. We also told everybody that China is trying to position themselves across the world, and America is there every time they turn. So therefore, a lot of these conflicts are going to go to different areas. You're going to see a hell of a lot more of that right there, and that right there is going to lead to this right here. They're going to be snatching up every dictator, every liar, every person who ain't playing ball and playing game, and foundational Black Americans, we called it out by name. 2026 is the end of the tethers. 2026 is Tethergeddon, and 2026 and beyond, you're going to see all of these people crash out while foundational Black Americans ball out. That part. Family, I'm going to let everybody enjoy their Sunday. You know we had to pop up, break it down, give all the receipts and lay them on the table. Take everything I said, lock it on in your mind, family. This is going to be an escalation that is going to transfer from Latin America over to Africa because China can't play in our backyard. Donald Trump has just taken over the largest oil reserves in the world. And now America is slanging the oil. So therefore, people got to come through us. China right now is trying to find a means to fit in. You also have Russia and you also have Europeaners, and they all out there going back and forth and back. You're going to hear a hell of a lot of people breaking it down, but nobody's going to connect the dots like we do, okay? Because we've been the first ones and the main ones talking about it, and we do it in the best way. This is what you call a certified geopolitical breakdown. Family, told everybody we'll turn it up. I told everybody I will set it off, but I also said I do everything. What you want? You want to talk about geopolitics? Black Alpha break it down with the best of them. You want to talk about global and international affairs? Foundational Black Americans run that. You want to talk about the next war and the next conflict, the military industrial complex? You know right here, Black Alpha got all the energy and all the game. So no matter what you want to go into and no matter what you want to do, we're going to break it down. I don't know about nobody, but I know about this here. This here, Foundational Black American Certified Black Alpha Network, #1 activist for a reason. Why am I #1, fam? Is because when you want to talk about every single element of society, you want to talk about every single corridor, every variable, you want to connect all the dots about what goes on in our country that we built, or you want to talk about the whole world that we influence, Black Alpha gonna break it down. He gonna give you all the facts, and we even gonna predict it before it happens. Just like all of this right now, we predicted. And everything that we predicting today gonna come true. Because when you're a foundational Black American, you 100 out of 100, and it's 7-11 every time you roll the dice. Jackpot. All right, y'all, certified salute. Y'all stay good, y'all stay strong. I'm gonna see y'all on Tuesday. And if this breaks, we'll be right back at it. And if something else breaks, we're gonna be on top of that. Just know, when you're tapped in with Black Alpha Network, you're gonna have a great time. You're gonna PIMP slap a bunch of these trolls, and you're always gonna be #1 because we #1. Get it done. Certified. Y'all stay good. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay vigilant. And always remember, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, that Black is beautiful. And beautiful is always Black. One love, peace and love. Free Huey.
Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.